and start talking.
And welcome to cold, a little overcast, and a little windy day here up in San Marcos at San Marcos Academy. I'm Ken Lucas. Joining me on the mic here, we got Bradley Riley. Down on the field, we got Jay Riley. We got a lot of Texas Sports Productions crew that are out here for an exciting afternoon, Jay, as you are the outside guy down there for the Continental Football League. The San Antonio Toros are going to have their tryouts today, and Texas Sports Productions is going to bring you the live stream of the tryouts here. Jay, how's it feeling down on the field?
Yeah, pretty stiff north wind. Little chilly down here, but I think it's affecting the attendance for sure. But if we're running downwind to run the 40, we might see some sub 4.3s down here because the wind is howling.
Well, we've got a lot of young men. We're just trying to count them out. We got a couple more still showing up here at San Marcos Academy here for these tryouts for the San Antonio Toros. Folks, if you have not heard about the San Antonio Toros, one, you're way behind on the news. But, we've got a leadership group that's putting together some experienced football executives, a lot of local business. We'll get into a little bit of the structure here a bit later. But, this is going to be a great opportunity for a lot of these young men to get in literally on the ground floor for the San Antonio Toros. And, my broadcast partner here, Bradley Riley, up in the warm booth. Jay's down on the field in the elements down there. He'll be bringing you on the field excitement here. But, Bradley, we've got a historical team that started way back in the 60s all the way through the 70s. We can get into their history of the success that they had coming in. But how exciting is it that, San Antonio's got another potential of getting a great football program back and established in the Alamo City?
San Antonio is a football city, so it's good to have another team. UTSA has been doing a great job getting San Antonio football on the map, and to have another team there, it's going to be awesome. And high school football, it's always great there. So to have a professional football team come to San Antonio is huge. I know we wanted it for a while.
And when you talk about, just the Continental Football League in general, now you got the Toros that are kind of resurrecting themselves coming out of the late 60s. About 56-plus years ago, the San Antonio area has been hurting in this football league area. We've had a couple of upshoots here and there, but the Toros resurrecting themselves in 2026. You can see some of the coaches that are going to be out here as part of this fantastic tryout opportunity for these young men. But, hey, Jay, as you look at those young men out there, and they got some warm-ups, coaches just trying to get them through there so we don't have any injuries here on the tryouts. But Jay, you're down there with some pretty exciting individuals that are down there on the track that are really excited about this type of tryout that we're going to have here today.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got Josh Mayer, managing partner of the Toros. He's the one with the vision and a group of his guys that are bringing professional outdoor football back to San Antonio. Josh, what an exciting day.
It is. It's field activity. We got coaches here. We got players here. We got our great guys. Follow media, see all of our sponsors. We really appreciate everybody helping us getting out here.
Yeah, this is a real exciting time. It's just the tip of the iceberg. The league starts play next June. They'll have camp next May. And still figuring out where they're going to play. They have some great ideas on where to play, some really convenient places for everyone to get to. But this is a lot like a developmental league, right? You want these guys to progress on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a league of opportunity. It's a league for the fans, by the fans, for the players. We want to take players that are maybe looking for that niche, give them the skills they need to progress to the next level, and hopefully we'll be able to help facilitate that. We want players to be able to go not only to the NFL but also to the UFL and the Canadian Football League. We got some unique rules that we're going to be playing with here in the Continental Football League, and we're going to use three-down football. We're going to break some news. We're going to have three-down football in our fourth quarter here called the Continental Shift, and that's all with the goal and the aim of providing the best film that we can for each of these players to help them progress to the next level.
And another huge difference, the public has the opportunity to own part of the team.
Yeah. The thing that's going to set us apart from everything that has come before us in San Antonio, the first thing is we are from San Antonio. I'm born and raised in San Antonio. The ownership group, we're all from San Antonio. And we're not doing this for no reason other than professional football in San Antonio. That's our goal. I think I've been telling people as I've had meetings over the past few months, this will be a successful season for me taking one snap in San Antonio. That's our only goal. We're not trying to do anything other than that. What makes a difference is the fans that will participate are also going to be key stakeholders. They're going to actually hold equity in the team. So in the past, let's say you bought some season tickets and all you got with those season tickets was football on the field, which is what you were expecting as a fan, right? What we're doing is not only providing you that, but we're providing you equity, stake, and ownership in the team. So essentially what you're going to do right now, go on to wefunder.com, look up San Antonio Toros, find San Antonio Toros at COFL Toros on all of our social medias. You can find the information there. But you're going to get the tickets for free. The tickets are a perk. And then depending on what level you want to be invested in the team, how much equity you want in the team, you will actually get more perks. So you're going to be part owner with me. I'm simply the managing partner and team president. Everybody's going to be owners, and you're going to get your season tickets for free. And that's available right now. So wefunder.com, look at our socials, check that out. We've already had some investors that have gone on there and purchased that. So we actually already have increased the number of partners we have in our ownership group, and every fan that's going to be in the stand is actually going to be team owners, and you're going to get all the paperwork and legal documents to go along with those tickets. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Josh, you're here today. Hopefully you find a few players. But, I mean, someone's here from Miami. Oklahoma, they're here to try out for this team. But what you really envision is a San Antonio first team. You want as many kids from San Antonio as you can find.
Yeah, well, first thing is we have regional allocation. It's built into every team. It's built into our rosters by zip code. So if you're in Austin, the Austin team's going to get the first. We don't want to talk about Austin team too much. But if you're in Austin, that's where you go. So if you're from San Antonio, that's where we want you to be. We want to support San Antonio. This is about taking our community and having a football team that's part of the community. We're not busting people in. We're not going to bust players in. We're going to live in San Antonio. I'll live in San Antonio. I'll live 15 or 20 minutes from the Dome, right off 410 there on the southeast side myself. And so we're not going to be busting people in. This is going to be for San Antonio. So if you're a San Antonio football player, played at UTSA, played at University of Incarnate Word, wherever, straight out of high school, whatever, that's the players that we're going to look to have on the team, and we're going to be as part of the community as we possibly can.
There you go, folks. The San Antonio Toros are going to be San Antonio's professional football team. The guys are right now, and as soon as they get warm, they're going to start running 40-yard dashes, I guess, cone shuffle. And they're also going to do some 5-on-5 and some 7-on-7 later on. So if you want to see these athletes, I mean, they came out here in some pretty extreme weather conditions. Give them a watch and watch athletes be athletes. Ken?
Yeah, and let's tip our hat to Josh Meyer, and what a great interview. You know, he's got a great vision for exactly where he wants to take the Toros to the next level. And Bradley, what I really loved, and I want to emphasize what he really honed on is that, this team is going to belong to the people. So he had talked about the unique structure of the San Antonio Toros and the fact that you are not only just going to buy a ticket and get a seat and maybe some popcorn and, of course, exciting football that goes with it. His entire structure is brand new, and the fact that you can gain ownership and stake into the San Antonio Toros simply by buying tickets. That's it. So you're going to get a say. You're going to get a part of it. And I really like the fact that he honed in on the fact that, as a managing partner, he's just that. He's not a managing director. He's not executive director. He's a managing partner, which means the fans are going to be part of it. And so, I really like that, what he said of, emphasizing community pride, fan ownership. That's such a unique structure. You don't see anywhere else, from my research, you don't see it anywhere else at this level in the United States.
And what I got from the interview with Josh is he's leaving, all the fans have a say in everything. And not just that, he's still learning too.
Yeah.
So he's always able to soak in questions and learn from everything, because it's a learning thing as you keep going, as this team builds.
And this is brand new for him too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, he's blazing a path.
He's still learning too.
Resurrecting the historic San Antonio Toros. We'll get in some of the history about that later there as we move along through this broadcast. But the presentation of this live stream here by Texas Sports Productions. But let me also remind everybody to get out to the San Antonio Toros on social media. They're both on Instagram and X at COFL Toros, or the team website, COFLToros.com. That stands for the Continental Football League, COFLToros.com. You're going to get a lot more information than we can ever do. And, of course, the great interview down there with Josh Mayer. It was great to catch up with him down on the track here as we start to get set here for the tryouts. But, hey, Jay, down on the field right there, where you see from your perspective, they're not only going through warm-ups here. I think these guys are getting into a good mindset. And do you feel like they're sensing this is a brand new opportunity for them out here at San Marcos Academy?
Opportunity is the best word that you can use. You heard from Josh, they want to develop these players to move on up into, say, the CFL or even the UFL. There's late bloomers that can get to the NFL. But they need a place to really cut their teeth and get development, and that's what this league is going to provide and give them an opportunity to move up to the next level. And it's just one of those things that it just warms my heart as a longtime high school football guy.
Yeah.
And also getting into some college that, this is summer league. So if someone's trying to get a scholarship or something along those lines, they can come play in this league in June and July and maybe make a fall camp at a college team. And because we with TSP are going to help them with the highlights and all that kind of stuff to be able to put those recruiting packages together. A couple of sponsors that we really want to thank, Complete Care in San Antonio and Austin. They're an emergency room, not one of these dock-in-a-box places. They have just been an absolute tremendous sponsor of not only our high school sports, but now sponsoring this here today. And South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital as a really beneficial sponsor. They sponsor a lot of football in this city as well, and they're a big-time high school football backer as well. And now they're going to get involved because it's a community team. Literally, the city of San Antonio is going to be owning this team. And it's almost Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
The difference is the Green Bay Packers don't let you be on an advisory board to talk about the future of the team, where the Toros management and ownership group is going to have spots for people who jump in and be on an advisory board. So it's part of the sustainability. We've seen leagues come and go here, and unfortunately the Brahmas and others have come and gone, but part of the sustainability of this league is going to be the local ownership in this league, and it really sets them apart from other business models of summer, spring / football. It's just a really enlightened way to go about this. If the community is part of it, if the community has a vested interest in it, they're going to support it even more, and the team will be able to stay. So TSP is going to work with them on the marketing, on obviously putting a professional production out there, and really make this a San Antonio team. I can't say it any more emphatically than this is going to be a San Antonio professional football team. Regular size field, all that kind of great stuff.
And I don't think you could have said it any better, Jay. And I think your point of the unique structure that we just heard from Josh Mayer and what he's trying to put together, I think it's not only a great opportunity for the fans to get in at the fan ownership level. But, you brought up the Green Bay Packers. Can you imagine how many the revenue of the Green Bay Packers would be there? And then can you imagine the meeting room? of, hey, let's have a board of directors ownership meeting. That would be pretty interesting up there with the Packers.
They
but
need the stadium.
they would need the whole stadium for that. But, I think it was fantastic that, Josh brought it up that, in San Antonio, their fan base is very unique. I mean, Texas Sports Productions, brings a lot of the high school football, and so we get a lot of the fan engagement. Just last night, the UTSA and Army game last night. I mean, almost, Alamo Dome was almost packed with UTSA supporters, and this is the last game of the season. So San Antonio has got a fire when it comes to the word football, and I think they can really get behind this idea of this new structure that they're going to be able to see football and then be a part of the ownership. And, for Bradley, I would love your opinions on the fact that, for these players coming in, they're coming in at that ground floor. They're going to be able to set the standard for how the San Antonio Toros are going to perform, and it all starts here at the tryouts here today.
Because it leaves it to where their boss isn't the head coach on the sideline or the GM up top.
Correct.
It's the people in the stands.
That's right.
The season ticket holders. That's your boss too. So you have something to prove to them, and you need getting a winning tradition going. You need to make the fans happy, and they're going to support you in everything you do.
Well, and as we get closer and closer to tryouts, as you see the players warming up out there, just to make sure they don't get any problems with the muscles out here. It's a little cold and windy. We got our partners battling it out down there on the field. Jay Riley's bundled up with 19 layers, I think, and a hat. However you want to layer up there, Jay, that's fine. But, for each of these players trying to warm up, but, their opportunity to come out and showcase their skill sets, I think we heard it in the voice of Josh Mayer when he was saying, hey, we would love to recruit locally in San Antonio. But, Jay, as you pointed out, we've got one individual down there. We'll try to catch him during tryouts who's all the way from Miami. I'm not sure he's liking this weather coming from Miami. But, you've got the attraction, you've got the attention that's not just San Antonio based, and it's not just Texas based. I mean, we got Oklahoma, we got Miami. It's a national base where the interest for the Continental Football League coming in has really sparked the fact that we've got multiple young men out here trying to come out for the Toros.
Well, even our roamer camera guy, his brother played at UIW, and he's out there right now trying out for the team. That's local San Antonio. And one other thing, going back to the team being owned by the people in the city, I think this city has a lack of trust in leagues like this because so many have come and gone.
Agree.
This one was built for sustainability. The business model has built it for sustainability. They'll be here, and San Antonio can make sure of that by going to the wefunder.com, and that's how you get your tickets. Invest in the team. The season tickets come along with it. And I think it's just a beautiful business model. You support what you own. And if you're part owner, it should be pretty easy to support this team because they're going to be a lot of fun to watch. They've got a great history. The location that they're going to play, we can't announce that just yet. But
we're working on it.
It's going to be a fun place for you to go. There's several historic sites in this city to play at, and they'll be at one of them.
Well, and you had just mentioned that. We're still working out, few spots are in the works for exactly where the home stadium for the Toros are going to be. But, anywhere that they land is going to have attraction for San Antonio. And, Jay, I think one of your comments earlier really hits it home in the fact that, a lot of these spring football leagues, they try to base and model themselves on creating another opportunity in what I call the dead zone of football. Right in between when the Super Bowl ends and before the first game of the football season happens. You've got that dead football space there. And, Bradley, I look at that as this is an opportunity to fill in that gap, that opportunity for young men to really showcase, off season, that, hey, I still got some playing time. I still got some wheels on me. I still got some size on me. I can play ball.
You keep the muscles, keep the legs nice and warm and everything while you're playing during the off season. Now, I'm a baseball guy, so I always got sports to watch during that time, but I love football too. So to have both going on at the same time, just keeps your mind fresh for the football season to come when it really hits.
And it does. And we want to actually double down and truly thank the sponsors of this. You know, we've got some great experience with these sponsors for our Texas Sports Productions, for our greater San Antonio area wide, that we're still in the playoffs. You know, hey, high school football is still it's not over yet, folks. You know, you got San Antonio teams in the area of San Antonio, to include Bernie, and then, of course, up there with the other teams that are battling themselves through the playoff brackets. But we certainly want to give a good shout out to our sponsor, Complete Care, that emergency room that Jay talked about in South Texas Spine and Surgical. You know, they make a lot of things happen here, but you know, with that new model, I think it's going to be interesting. But you know, one of the questions I had for you down there, Jay, is, you know, the branding of this. You know, that's tough. I mean, you got to start almost from scratch. Well, the model going back to, hey, the Toros have got a history here in San Antonio, and some of the branding elements are flashing back to the old days in the late 60s, early 70s, when the Toros had a red, black, and white color, and then that Toro that you saw on the players' chest that are out there warming up right now. So this is a good throwback, when I love good throwbacks, good throwback to a previous time when the Toros existed in San Antonio. And we'll talk about this in a second, but they weren't slouches, Jay. They had multiple championships.
Oh, yeah. These guys are very cognizant of the past Toros. They want to pay homage to the success. I mean, several championships in a row in that league.
Correct.
Won by the Toros, playing down at Alamo Stadium and sometimes over at Harlandale Stadium. But they want to pay homage to them and, you know, try to replicate that success here for San Antonio. And again, being able to own part of the team, I'm excited about that. You will see Jay Riley as part owner of the San Antonio Toros. I got about 35 cents in my bank account.
There we go.
I hope I can get at least a quarter of a share for that.
A 35-cent ownership right there. I'd say, Jay, that's fantastic. And you know, and the last comment on that I'll say on that is, you know, the 8 years that the Toros were in existence back then. You know, Bradley, one of the key points here is they appeared in 7 championships game and won 6. And when I say won 6 in a row, from 1967 to 1972.
Tom Brady who?
Yeah, the Toros had a championship. So
20 years before I was born.
we'll leave you with that stat. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. This is a live stream presentation by Texas Sports Productions of the Continental Football League football tryouts here in San Marcos Academy.
Hey, Dad.
We're on break. Okay. Hey, and Dylan.
My block, man.
Good.
And welcome back to San Marcos Academy up here in San Marcos, Texas. We are doing a live stream of the Continental Football League San Antonio Toros player tryouts up here in a cold, windy afternoon. We've had some great interviews so far with Josh Mayer, the managing partner for the San Antonio Toros. We've got our partner down on the field who's braving the elements as we see the players still going through warm-ups here, and I don't blame them. It's a little cold and windy down there. I guess I'd stretch it out too, Jay.
Yeah, it's one of those days that as long as the wind blows like this, it's going to be feeling 10 or 15 degrees less than it really is, and I see the temperature at 50 right now.
Yeah.
But what they're going to do with the 40-yard dash, because the wind is blowing so hard, they're going to do it with the wind and then turn around and do it against the wind.
Wow. Okay.
That's how much the wind can actually affect the 40 time.
And try to find that median there, I guess, in between. The the interesting part is you're downwind and then upwind, and then somewhere in the middle there is your actual 40 number. But, again, folks, let me remind you, this is a football tryout, so they're going to be doing a lot of typical things that you would see in a combine-style tryout here. You're probably going to have the 40-yard dash. You're going to have some high knee runs, maybe some skill or agility stuff as you see them warming up on the field. So these guys are going to really go through the paces here, trying to establish themselves. And you see the player right there with the Toro logo. That's what we were just talking about, that red, black, and white with the Toro horns. Each of the players, they have a shirt that's out here representing the Toros. But, Bradley, I think the exciting part about being part of the Continental Football League is exactly what, Josh Mayer was talking about, not only that community pride and fan ownership, but, as they come in here and they can really set the pace for what they really look at in the players, and of course, we've got these players that are trying out. They're going to try to fill the teams accordingly. I'm sure there's going to be some further interest, especially after the great presentation here by Texas Sports Productions on the live stream showing it. So I'm really excited about the fact that the Toros are going to be exciting for a lot of the players coming in.
Yeah, I mean, giving these guys, another chance to get their name back out there and keep doing the game that they love the most. And whether it doesn't matter what level it's on, they're still being able to play it and stay at that.
And it's not just, what I'll call the executives and suits and ties out here putting this thing on. We've got, the defensive coordinator, James Champagne's out here today. Offensive line coach Daryl Parker is also out here. So, it's not just at the executive level with high hopes of trying to create something here. You've got some excitement and some interest that's all the way down at least right now, sketchy staff that's going to be brought in, the coaches that are brought in. But we've got two of them that are going to be here. And, Jay, as they huddle up over there, I think they're starting to get ready for the tryouts. And I think you can start to feel that energy and that excitement that's building down there on the field.
Yeah, this is two of the Continental Football League teams are actually holding tryouts here. One is the Austin Syndicate, and then obviously the San Antonio Toros. So we've got the ownership from both teams. The coaches you just talked about were coaches for the Syndicate. But, you got to have coaches out here because they're evaluating talent to turn around and pay people to play football.
That's right.
It's not just here's a little money out of my pocket to come out and play football. These guys are going to get paid fairly well for a developmental league. And I think they're all out here looking for that opportunity to go to the next level. So why don't we take a quick break? They're done with warm-ups. When we come back, we will have the actual tryouts. These guys are going to run. These guys are going to do the shuffles. So let's take a quick break and come back when these guys are really getting after it.
We are back live at the San Marcos Academy on this cold, overcast, kind of windy day. Up here at San Marcos Academy, this is a live stream presentation by Texas Sports Production for the Continental Football League San Antonio Toros player tryouts. As you see the players weighing in, getting their shoes off, they're going to weigh in. This is a full-on tryout here for the San Antonio Toros. We've already heard from Josh Mayer, one of the managing partner for the San Antonio Toros. We've got our fantastic broadcaster down on the field, Jay Riley, who's going to be bringing us on-field action and some great interviews that are going to be coming right for him. Actually, right there, let's throw it down with Jay Riley and Connor Nargang, the marketing guru.
Yes, Chief Marketing Officer for and part owner of the San Antonio Toros, Connor Nargang. But that's a name. Connor, I mean, this is such a unique league. Talking about how the ownership rights can be and things like that. Talk about, from a marketing perspective, how you're going to attack this.
Well, we want to keep everything very local. The whole point of this league is the big draw for us was that, sorry, I can just take it. The big draw for us, is it this camera? Is that this league, the model that the Continental Football League is bringing is very local-based, fan-owned, and so that is how we want to market it. We want to reach out to every business in San Antonio. Anybody who wants to be a part of it can become a sponsor, can become a partner. We want to make sure that we put San Antonio on the name. We keep San Antonio in the forefront. Everything involved is going to be very, very local-based. Not to say that we're not going to have some big sponsors league-wide, that are coming down. So that's going to be big news here in the next couple weeks. But we want to make sure that everything's very local and that the city feels that they're loved. Because we know that multiple teams have come and gone. They said San Antonio, they came in, they said we're here to stay, and they played a season or two, and they left. And that's just the way the business rolls. But we want to have a different business, and we want to be the team that comes, ingrains ourselves into the city, and stays as long as they'll have us.
Well, there you go. We're talking San Antonio-centric for the Toros. Of course, there is a team out in Midland. The Black Gold, I think, is their name. And then, obviously, the Austin team is the Syndicate. And there should be another one coming for this pod.
Yes. You have 4 northern teams, 4 southern teams. The 4th southern team may be announced this Thursday. That's about all I can give you. But being the CMO of the Toros and, working, they like the way that our branding and our rollout happens. So when new teams are added, they reach out to me, and I'm kind of helping with logos, social media, that kind of thing. So I know that there's one coming down the pipeline. It could be this Thursday, but I digress. But we're doing 4 team pods, and a thing for that is a lot of the things that you see go wrong with teams in spring leagues, summer leagues, is money and overhead. And so if fans aren't showing up, if the viewership isn't what they want it to be, then these teams are folding. So we're trying to keep overhead as low as possible. So these pods is that you play your season within your pod. So the furthest we're going to go is Midland, Texas, right? We can bus there. We're not doing any plane tickets or anything. The only time we would fly is if we made the championship game. So the championship game would be at the end of July, I believe. So June to July season. If we win in our pod in the Southern Division, then we would go and we would play the best team from the Northern Division in a championship game, and that would be the one time we would fly. We would head up there to probably the Ohio Valley or wherever they win, Cincinnati, whoever wins.
As you can see, it is a nationwide league. This isn't just a pod of guys wanting to play in the state of Texas. This is a real league, guys, and these players will be moving up into other leagues as they go based on their talent level. And just congratulations to you guys. I know you're excited about it, and we're looking forward to it. And anything we can do to help to promote professional football in San Antonio, we're all in.
Yes. Well, the biggest thing, obviously, word of mouth, especially when you're in the state of Texas, men of their word. So we said we were going to put out a tryout. We were going to have sponsors here. We're doing it. We said we were going to do it, and we're doing it. We want to make sure that everybody knows that and that people are telling their friends, hey, you can go try out for the Toros if you want. You haven't played since high school. You can still try out. But, yeah, this is not just our league. We want to be a developmental league where these players, we have coaches that are very, very good friends with executives and coaches within other leagues, within the UFL, NFL, CFL. The CFL specifically asked us, they wanted a developmental league, and that is why the fourth quarter we had the continental shift to play Canadian rules, because we want to make sure that we get these players tape both on American football rules and Canadian football rules. So this league could be a stepping stone, jumping off point for any player who comes in and shines. So that's a way to market to players specifically. Like you give us good talent, we could take you places.
Connor, thank you very much. Chief Marketing Officer of the San Antonio Toros. When you see stuff out there, it'll be him that's making it. Thank you, Connor.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, and
All
folks,
right. Looks like it's time to go do some agilities.
I was just watching them right behind you, Jay. Looks like they're doing some agility stuff out there. But in the coming weeks, folks, the team's going to be announcing some of its coaching staff. Of course, we got the tryouts today. We got player signings that's going to happen. But, you can follow the San Antonio Toros on social media on both the Instagram and X at COFL Toros, or the team website, COFLToros.com. Go there for any further updates. And as you see here, we've got the players that are really getting after it down there at the first. It looks like it's going to be the first station. That's going to be the high knee station. What you're really testing right there, Bradley, is just your good footwork, keeping your head up and away off the ground. And right now, I tell you, these guys, even with the wind conditions like they are really blowing through the pads.
That's like a peripheral drill right there. You kind of be able to see off the very left side of your eye and not trip over the mats and everything, and see how fast you can get through there while focusing on what's in front of you.
Yeah, and
I call this a linebacker drill.
Yeah, it's a good linebacker, because what you're wanting to do is you want to have some high knees to get through that traffic that's typically up there at that line of scrimmage. And then, of course, now as you see the coach shift back over to the backside, he's looking for that eye contact. He's wanting you to have eye contact with him as you go through the pads, and I like it. Hey, good high knee drill right here for these young men that are trying out for the San Antonio Toros. Folks, we're up here live at San Marcos Academy. Live stream brought to you by Texas Sports Productions. And then, Jade, as you get down there on the field, are you kind of feeling that the wind is staying like it is, or is it going to be hurting some of these individuals as they fly through the pads?
I think the wind is backing down right now, coming down a little bit. It doesn't feel as cool down here. It doesn't feel as gusty.
Okay.
You can definitely see the intensity in these guys' eyes. They want to make this team.
And you can tell. I mean, and you can see some of these guys are already starting to shed some of their clothes as they start to get a little lathered up, if you will. You knew that was going to happen.
Get the body heat up.
What a great opportunity though for these young men to not only have the coaches that are getting them through the drills, but now they're going to be not only showing them the drills. You see that back forward drill. That's again all footwork, going through the pads to get yourself up there. And as Bradley, as you pointed out, it's a good linebacker drill for these guys.
That's more of a secondary drill to me.
Yeah,
right
and
there,
linebacker, secondary, etc. And then when you get the big boys out there, that's a whole different ball of wax out there. But yeah, I tell you, for these tryouts, like they're putting them through the paces, and they're not playing around. I mean, once one's about halfway through the pads, you see the next one go right there. Some of these young men, as they start to get into their groove for this tryout, the interesting part's going to be is, as they start to get a little bit more tired, a little bit more, I'll say warmed up, but, now you're going to start to see their true grit. And I mean, for some of these young men, it might have been a while since they played some ball and done some drills.
Yeah, and not just that, you're not just trying out, you're trying out to be teammates too. So you're going to be teammates. Camaraderie is big too. So when you see guys going on the drill and everybody knows exactly what drill to do, it puts them on the same page, makes everything flow so much better, like in a game.
That's a really good point. You talk about the team component there, Bradley, is the fact that, it all starts right here. I mean, some of these guys may make the team, they may not.
Know each other.
That's fine. But, at the end of the day, it all starts right here, and that camaraderie builds with each drill and with each time. And, of course, I'm sure they had some time to get to know each other prior to these workouts, but you see them going through now the other side of the pads. And Jay, I mean, from your on-field perspective, how's the agility on their feet, on their footwork?
I see some really good stuff here. Let's not count out the big guys. This drill. Let's not count out the big guys on this drill, because in today's offense,
you're right.
You got to pull, and you got pulling guards, pulling tackles, pulling centers, and the agility and the athletic ability really come into play on the offensive line as well.
Yeah, and that's a really good point, Jay, is that this isn't just a skill position. I know we focused on more of the linebacker, defensive back drill, but you're right, Jay. I mean, even with the big guys, the footwork, asking for some of those offensive guards, some of those offensive tackles to not just do a base block, hey, go lean body on body. Hey, I need you to take a step back, which is agility, and then I need you to get sideways, and I need you to be running about as fast as that running back.
Yep.
You know, so
tight ends have to do both.
Yeah, you're asking these big guys, as you see a big guy right there for the Toros, you know, getting through this agility drill, you know, that's showing their not only their footwork but their speed as well.
And their mentality into it too. Take every drill serious, every single one. There is no off day.
And I don't think there is going to be an off period, because I think for the coaches out here, they want to get a good look at each one of these players at each of the skill
and
positions.
keep them warmed up too, with the weather and everything. Keep them warmed up. Yeah, don't have them standing around for too long.
Well, it looks like we've finished the first tryout drill, or at least the first phase of it right there. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back here. This is the live stream presentation by Texas Sports Productions for the Continental Football League and the San Antonio Toros player tryouts. And we're back live at San Marcos Academy. San Antonio Toros tryout. It's the first player takes off for is going to be a series. Actually, 2 back-to-back 20 sprints, and then we'll go to the normal 40-yard sprint as we see the players lining up right there. But let's take it down to the field with Jay Riley. He's got a pretty important individual who's looking at some of these athletes.
Some people out here that can evaluate this talent, and this is
for the full 40. I like that.
Yeah, and we'll bring it back up here to the booth. We got some windy conditions down there, and we're dealing with some technical issues. But as we look at the athletes right here, you know, and for Bradley, you and I were just talking about it. You know, I like the fact that they're doing not only a 20 into the wind one time, but then a 20 with the wind another time. And as you had just pointed out, I kind of like this to get your legs warmed up. Yeah, they had a nice high knee drill earlier, but I mean this is all about the speed right now. Yeah. I don't care what position you're going to play. A 40 speed is what you need, and now we're starting with the 20. So let's try it again. Let's take it back down the field with Jay Riley.
Okay, back down here on the field, these guys are running the 20 right now, and it's being timed with a stopwatch. And this is Coach Van Clark You got to have people down here evaluating these guys. So coaches down here, just real quick in this 20-yard dash, what are you looking for, Coach?
Well, initial burst, suddenness. Also, you want to see how these guys follow instructions as they get into these drills. How attentive they are, how focused they are, and then obviously their explosion, their body control, and their balance. But in this drill right here, again, that initial burst and explosion.
It kind of helps to talk to a guy who's been doing this for 43 years and has been in different leagues and seen a lot of different players. So it's not just top-end speed you're looking for here. It's how they get off the ball and also listening skills.
Yeah, no question. How well are they focused? How well they follow instruction, and just overall body control. And then the biggest thing is how they finish.
Thank you, Coach. We really appreciate it to get some insight.
Yeah.
We'll be back with Coach more as these tryouts go along. Kenny?
Yeah, and I thank you much. And I think one of the big things that he just said, it was coachability, Bradley. And it's not just a drill. And, sometimes you forget it. You focus on the drill a whole lot. You forget about the fact that, hey, we're giving you instructions, on how to do the drill. It's how well is that player going to be coachable? So these coaches are looking for that throughout the season. We see another great run there on that first 20 for that young man. Fantastic. But, with Coach Clark talking about, hey, it's not just the burst of the speed, it's not just the time. It's also the fact, hey, how fast they can get off and how do they listen to instructions. That makes them coachable.
Yeah. And coachability is just like heart. It's hard to teach it. You can lead a horse to water, you can't make him drink. So you can coach somebody all you want. Are they able to soak it in and kind of compare what coach is teaching you to what you already know and what you kind of learned over all the years and put them together. So that perfect mesh.
So they're stopwatching down there. I mean, they're right, and I like the fact that they're doing 2 20s. That's going to be the format here. 120, as Jay Riley on the field was mentioning. We do have a bit of a headwind here, and then a tailwind. So fair enough. The coaches said let's do a 20 into the wind, and then a 20 on the backside. So these two guys are these guys are going to get 2 shots at the 20. And then they're going to get 2 shots at the 40. And this is where I think for them, a lot of their agility comes into play here with or without the wind. At the end of the day, something in the middle is going to be your 40-yard time.
Oh, yeah. And, doing the 20 opens the legs up a little bit more. Everybody's still a little cold, still a little stiff. Thanksgiving just happened, so everybody's got to unbuckle everything, So, but
That's
get
a
these
good
guys
point.
warmed up so you can see their true 40 time.
Well, and for
at
them,
least close to it, at least.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the crowning jewel agility drill in any football tryout is clearly your 40-yard dash. Everybody looks at the 40-yard dash because that shows your propensity for speed or your actual speed. But for these young men, getting out here and getting after it on this type of drill in front of the coaches as well as some of the executives that are out here as well. We got some great support by the San Antonio Toros executive group out here supporting these young athletes, trying to make their dream continue in the football arena. But, Bradley, a lot of these guys, as they come out of the gate, see the big guy there getting down the field, chugging it down there. I like that.
Yeah.
Hey, giving full-out effort right here, and why not? You get 1 shot at it.
Exactly. Warm them legs up. One thing, few of these guys trying out, they were here at 10:30 this morning. So they've been, trying to stretch everything out. This is still keeping them loose and everything before they get into the real stuff.
It's been a little bit of a long day for them, but I can assure you that the butterflies and the excitement is still there for these young athletes. But again, one of the big things that we always like to call out is the fact that the great sponsors that are out there, not only for Texas Sports Productions in the high school football arena, but, also just, for the fact that they're stepping up and looking at the Continental Football League is a great opportunity for them to get sponsors. A good shout out to Complete Care, the emergency room services there, as well as South Texas Spine and Surgical. As we look at the next athlete, they get down in their stance. Some of them have got that 2-point stance, some are 3-point stance. The others have got a 4-point stance. It just varies on what you're comfortable with, etc. And again, a lot of these young men, coming off of either their high school career or maybe a couple of years in college, etc. They've been coached up on how to run 40s and 20s, as we're seeing here. As I think we're back through the rotation or getting close to the rotation for the first 20. Let me remind everybody that you see the coaches huddled up right there on your screen with the white hoodie and the blue jacket. They're the ones docking and putting down the the stat times here for the first 20, and then we're going to flip it, and they're going to run the other way and do a 20 again.
See if the wind affects anything,
Helps.
you know.
Helps or hurts, right?
Right.
You know, it could be either one. You just don't know. But you got a lot of folks that are down there watching. They're going to start it right there at that 30-yard line. They start that watch, and then they come down and commiserate and compare as he finishes out that first 20. Good run there by that young man. I like the fact that he kept going all the way down the field. He's not going to pull right up off the initial run, but I like that, the fact that you got these athletes that are really just putting their all-out effort into this initial 20.
The 40 is all about the initial burst and then opening up at the last 20. That's what it is. So right now these guys are working on their burst, their opening, takeoff, and then being able to sustain that, the last 20 yards.
Taking it down to the field. Jay Riley, what are you seeing down there? Are you feeling a little of the how's the wind down there? And then as you see the athlete come back right there, what's the look on their faces? They look excited, or?
Oh, they're absolutely excited, and the wind is definitely in their face a little bit. It's not blowing like it was earlier today,
Good.
but it is still blowing. But you know, you talk about the top end speed of a 40. The reason they do the 20s is football's very rarely played past 40 yards.
Yep.
So you got to look at the burst to get the first 10 yards. You need 7 yards
True.
for a first down. How fast can you get there to the cut? So, you know, 20-yard dash, what that's all, well, that's the explosive.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's
And,
where you
and
reach
top end speed usually comes in after the first 20 yards. So that's why they're doing it this way. They want to see not only – there's people that can get from A to B really fast, but from B to C, they're a little bit slower. So that's what they're evaluating here.
Would it be fair to say they're looking at that initial burst speed, and that's going to be in your 20s, and then that sustainment speed all the way to the 40? Because, Jay, as you mentioned, I mean, heck, just look at any fantasy football stats out there. You get a 40-yard rush, you're getting 5,000 points for that. You know, there's not a lot of 40-yard rushes that are out there.
I call it the first 20 is the cheetah, the last 20 is the impala.
Okay.
How long can you last? How long can you last?
It also comes down to they call it an explosive play when it gets to 20 yards. So rarely do things get over 20 yards. And when that happens, that is a big play.
That's what they call big play.
Yeah.
Most of football is played within 20 yards.
Yeah, and this is a great drill for that. Not only showing your initial get off the line reaction, but also that quick burst as we see this next athlete getting down the field. Good. Looks like that's going to be a good timed run right there. Good effort by him. But, you know, as we had talked about the balance between that 20 and 40 being that burst to the long term, and then, you know, as each of these athletes look at it, then we're going to flip it and come back the other way. You know, now they're going to know what they got to do. So, and I think for each of the athletes, you know, that are coming down here on each of these runs, they're gaining some experience on how to better and then improve their run times.
Yeah, and this is something they can practice on and kind of go back home and keep working on it, you know. And then as the season comes, you make the team. You're already mentally prepared for it.
Coming up here, this young man is put together. This is a young man. He's got the legs. He's got the frame. I bet he runs, if not the best 40, pretty close to the best 40 here at the tryouts.
This guy, he's been here since about 9:30 this morning. He's ready.
Yeah, and I tell you, for that young man who just took it down the field, I like how he's kind of set. But yeah, he's been here all
He
pretty
came
much
up
all
here
morning.
and talked with us for a little while just to warm up in the heater for a little bit. So.
And I like it. You know, that's the dedication that you're seeing by that young man coming out for the San Antonio Toros tryout right here. And as it looks like, I think we're getting towards the end. I think we might even be through the initial run. I think we've seen that young man do it. We're on the second phase, number 12. Getting himself down the field and then back through the cones there for his time.
Got some good speed on these guys right now.
Yeah, and I like the fact that each of these young men are not only showcasing this for the potential coaching staff or et cetera, but also in front of the executives. And as we heard from Josh Mayer, you know, making this a community effort. We see number 13 taking his run down the field there. It's going to be a good community effort to come and support these young men that actually make the team. again, we had mentioned earlier in the broadcast, they still got some coaching decisions to make. They still got their home field decision to make, etc. There's a lot of things that are going, but it all starts right here. You got to have athletes, and you got to have athletes that can play at the level that you want them to play out for the San Antonio Toros.
And Ken, you know this as well as anybody. Athleticism and talent are nothing without effort and dedication.
Correct. 100%.
So that's the other thing these guys are looking at is how into this are you? Are you living and breathing this? I mean, Ken Lucas played for Judson under D.W. Rutledge, who is just a legendary Texas high school football coach. He played in the state championship game. And Ken got to start. He wasn't an athletic. He's never has been. No, I'm kidding. But he had the effort, and he bought into the system, and that's why Ken got to play. And that Judson team went on to a state championship game, taking on Dallas Carter. But that's the other thing that coaches are looking for. It's the offshoot things.
Agreed.
Just because you run a 4.3 40 doesn't mean you play football worth the crap.
You can't teach heart.
No,
that's
exactly.
the number one thing. You can't teach it.
And you nailed that. And Jay, that's a great point. And Bradley, you just talked about heart. And I think that was really what Coach Clark was getting at. Of hey, I want to see this burst speed. I want to see it at the 20, the 40. But now I'm looking at hey, how much effort are you putting into this?
Exactly.
Everybody's going to go all out, but there's a mental aspect that comes to that as well. As hey, are you just trying out for the show, for the fun of it? Or are you truly serious about it? As we're seeing the next athlete get down the field there, number 10.
Are you here for the fame, or are you here to win?
Yeah, and so the key things that we've talked about so far is coachability of and none of the things I'm going to talk about are about athleticism. It's coachability, right? It's ability to listen to a coach and respond and be a part of that. We talked about the teamwork creation that's just starting right here today, and none of those have anything to do with your athleticism. It's all up in your head. It's all in your heart. And as my good broadcast partner Bradley just said, you can't coach heart. You got to bring that part to a team by yourself.
Y'all brought up Tom Brady earlier, and he was like 6th to last in the draft, and he went on to become the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. And he wasn't talented at all. He got better as his career progressed.
One of the running backs, Robert Henry for UTSA, his line is, "If you juiceless, you're useless."
That's a good one.
Well,
I just love that.
He knows what he's talking about as a featured back for the UTSA Roadrunners.
One of the best in the country at the moment.
There. So, folks, again, just a good reminder. This is for the Continental Football League San Antonio Toros tryouts. You got the athletes that are out here trying to get to that. A good reminder for everybody: get on social media for the San Antonio Toros, both on Instagram and X at COFL. Toros, or the team website cofltoros.com for updates. You can see that down there at the bottom. Make sure that you get there and get some information, folks. There's only so much that we can gab and broadcast here, but make sure that you go to that San Antonio san.antonio.toros, that website you see at the bottom of your screen, to get more information about them. But we can't say enough about how excited we are for the San Antonio Toros, especially as we're looking down at a lot of these athletes as they're kind of rounding out the first 20 run right here. They're now in their zone.
They're
really
getting in their focus big time.
You can kind of feel it.
I keep learning more and more about Toros and the organization and everything, and it's good stuff. I love it.
It really
I
is.
love it.
And I mean, some of the historical pieces of it, I know there was, they joined the semi-pro ranks back in the day in the Mid-American Football League, which included a couple games.
When
But the
you were a
National
baby.
Football Leagues, during the team's 8-year, because we talked about, 7 championships. They won 6 of them consecutively. But, some of the key names that came out of that National Football League alumni, as well as the pro football inductees, Ken Stabler. Hey, I think, if you go back a little bit, the snake there, you got Bill Walsh, Steve Van Buren. And, I mean, these guys are the ones that started at these kinds of levels right here and came back and end up being in the NFL Hall of Fame. So, we have the potential of looking at some of these young men that can not only make a big splash for the San Antonio Toros, but, get their name out there for other opportunities.
Stabler, that's one of the classics. See, I learned something new just about every second about
It's
the Toros
amazing
and
what
everything.
Google
That's
can do.
One of the best memories of Kenny Stabler was the TV camera got him on the sideline smoking a cigarette.
Yes.
Yes,
That's how I remember
him and Lynn Dawson both.
Yeah,
that was before my time, but that's how I remember getting stapler.
Sharing a cig on the sideline.
Yep.
Those were the days, weren't they?
He had his playbook in the bars. Sitting there reading, drinking beer, and smoking cigarettes while he was learning the
His tutor
playbook.
was the bartender.
But we've got some.
They test him with
things have
flashcards. They test him with flashcards.
So just as a good start, I think we got about 14 or 15 athletes that are out here.
Yeah.
This is the
About
here
14,
at beautiful San Marcos Academy. They got a great football field out here, and they're out here for these tryouts for the San Antonio Toros. So for 15 of these young men, this is their hopes and dreams of continuing to play the beloved game of football that we all love and enjoy. This is another great opportunity for them to showcase their talents, their skill sets, their coachability, their heart, their determination, as a lot of these young men are just out here, as we see number 9.
Rain, sleet, or snow, they're coming out.
Number 9 finish out his 20.
Hey, and Ken, there's another tryout going to go on. This isn't the only opportunity that you've got. There will be another tryout. We just haven't run down the date yet.
Sure.
So stay with TSP social media, stay with the Toro social media, the website. That will be updated as soon as we settle on that date.
And you see, we were just talking about it. You see the tryouts number 8 and number 9, kind of congratulating each other right there. That's that teamwork that's already starting to develop, regardless of whether these young men make the team or not. And I think we've got number 11 that just ran his time, and then I think we're down to the last athlete, at least in this direction, for the 20 off of that. And then I think we might take a quick break, and as they try to set up for the next one, I think we can,
for the 40.
We can get ready for the fantastic 40 that we always like to hear about. As last athlete's got his hand down there in the artificial turf, and here he goes. Good run there by number 7. I like that. We're going to take a break here, folks. This is a live stream presentation by Texas Sports Production, live here at San Marcos Academy for the Continental Football League San Antonio Toros player tryout.
Hi, we're the San Antonio Toros. We're the newest football team in Texas, so we thought we'd tell you who we are and what we're about. In 1966, the Texas Football League was formed, and thus the San Antonio Toros were born. They joined the original Continental Football League and made it all the way to the championship in their very first season. The Continental Football League is back in 2025 with a revitalized logo, look, and a whole new model, which makes it the People's League. But we'll get into that later. With the COFL returning, obviously we had to bring back the Toros. Since the league got a makeover, we figured we deserved one too, and with that came new logos and word marks. But we wanted to make sure we were still rooted in history, so our new logos have the same colors as the original: Old Brick Red, Black, and Victory White. We also wanted to make sure that San Antonio was ingrained in our brand all the way down to the logos, so we incorporated the Alamo. Now, like we said earlier, this is the People's League, which means it's owned by you, the fans. And to do that, we use a thing called WeFunder. Through WeFunder, you, the fan, are able to buy ownership in our team. Think like the Green Bay Packers. If you choose to buy a part of the Toros, you get a certificate of ownership. The bigger part you buy, the cooler things come with the certificate, like season tickets, an official ball, a game jersey, or even a helmet. All of this helps us accomplish our mission of our 5 pillars: integrity, city pride, player development, fan ownership, and legacy. And if we accomplish our mission, we guarantee pro outdoor football is here to stay. So what do you say? Are you ready to join the Stampede?
And welcome back live to the San Marcos Academy with the Continental Football League San Antonio Toros player tryouts here today in this kind of still overcast, cold day up here in San Marcos. We've already gone through an agility drill where the coaches and other individuals, so we're looking at the agility drill. We've gone through the first 20-yard dash, and now we're going to be lining up for the 40. But Jay, you've got a good report on the at least initial, I think you were looking over somebody's shoulder cheating. What was the best time that we had out there on that first 20 run?
The first 20 had a couple of them with a 2.6.
2.6.
So,
okay.
The second 20 yards will take less time because you've already got the momentum going.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see. And now they're running the 40.
Yeah.
And they're running the 40 downwind.
Yeah, and that I kind of like that. I mean, they put the first 20 into the wind, made you do it twice. That's fine. But now they're coming downhill as you see the athletes getting themselves back into what would be the normal. What I'll call the normal little tryout exercise routine here, and that's the well-known 40-yard dash as we got it. But, Jay, how's the wind down there now that they're coming downwind?
Still blowing pretty good. Not near as gusty as it was earlier today, but they are getting a little bit of help on this.
Yeah, good high knee run there by number 12 getting across the line. And, of course, they've got the 3 individuals there that compare their watches as they come across, and we see the athletes getting themselves ready. But I like the fact that they're stretching. I like the fact that a lot of them are encouraging each other, Jay, as they come off the line and they see each other. I like this as we see the next athlete lining back up.
Well, athletes know that the camaraderie and the chemistry of the team is exceedingly important. You can't tell me that those Patriots teams weren't tight in the locker room. Those Bama teams weren't tight in the locker room.
Totally agree.
That Texas national championship team way back in, they all still love each other. And chemistry is a huge deal. So if you're not a team player, coaches are going to notice that. And you don't need any loners. You don't need any cancer in the clubhouse kind of guys.
Yeah.
So that all is being taken note of here today.
Well, the best thing is, I mean, football is never an individual sport. It's always a team sport. So, as we heard from Coach Clark with his 43 years of experience, of course, he nailed it on the head with the fact he's looking for a lot of the intangibles. And a lot of those things that you just talked about, Jay, those are the intangibles when it comes to these types of tryouts. As we see the next athlete lining up, getting the 40, comes off the block real well. I like that. Coming down the line. Got to cross that. Man, it looks like he's going to have a good speed.
You look up effort in the dictionary, and it's got that young man's picture as an illustration. You could tell that he was putting it out just as hard as he could. And that's what you got to do at these things. I mean, you may sign up for the next one, but if they look at you and say, nah, never mind, you're wasting your time and mine, that's why the effort's going in right here. They're going to want to go to the second one regardless.
All right, so I don't know if it's cheating or winning or whatever you want to call it, Jay, but we're doing our best to try to get a roster of these individuals so we can actually call you out instead of just saying the number. As we see number 10 coming off the line right here, getting real good. He's got some good speed down there. Gets across that 40-yard mark at almost top speed. I like that as they come up and huddle and going to share the stopwatch.
I'm going to take a look. They're sharing with each other and then coming over writing it down. So they've got 4 of them taking the stopwatch.
Okay.
And then we're getting a look
at
what the final number was.
On both sides, and, of course, looking down that line. And that's why you have that kind of redundancy in the 4 and the 40 so that you can have, maybe a fraction of a second or so, which could make or break a player. You're going to see some of those discrepancies between the stopwatches, and then somewhere in the middle is the truth.
That one's officially being written down as a 4.9.
Oh, that's a great run. All right, next athlete's getting down the field, chugging it. Look at him go. I think that's number 6 on the roster we've got for the athlete. And, of course, again, it's not just about the time and the speed that you were talking about, Jay, and as we heard from Coach Clark, it's about the effort, and as they get to about the 15, 20-yard mark into a 40-yard, how much heart and effort are you going to put on that last 20 to get across with a good time?
Ken, so far the low is a 4.5.
Okay, so we do have a 4.5 registered in the 40, which I'll tell you, there's a lot of pro athletes that would love to have a 4.5 run, and this is happening downhill for the San Antonio Toros. So we'll keep a track. And Jay, I appreciate you being down there on the field and overlooking the official roster where they're putting down these times. As we see the big guy barreling down the field, that's some good heart right there, Jay. He is a great job by number 4 to get himself out of the blocks and then stick with it all the way through the 40. I like to see that heart, that effort, that grit by that young man right there. I like to see it.
That's a guy there that's going to be ready to get down there. That's a guy with a lot of heart. That the kid is going to give you 100% more.
Yeah, and another thing I want to bring up now that as we're kind of getting about, it looks like a good halfway through the player roster here. The branding that's going to go along with the San Antonio Toros is going to have elements of the San Antonio area, which is exactly what you wanted to see as we see that last athlete, number 3, get across the 40-yard line. It's also going to include the Alamo, so I'm really excited about not just the Toro brand, as you see on the front of the athlete who just finished the 40-yard dash right there, that Toro. Their branding's going to include a lot of elements of San Antonio, which I think is pretty unique. And as we heard from Josh Mayer, the managing partner, as he gets the community involved, that's what he wanted to do. And I'm really excited to see how this branding works out with the Alamo incorporated into it as well.
Yeah, they've done a great job of, and these guys are passionate about making it San Antonio's team. This is going to be a pretty good number.
That's going to be a great number. Kept his head down for the first 10 yards there and just focused on his form. Great job by that guy. I don't think he's got a number on him on the back. And if he did, it's blown off. But through that wind that our partner on the field, Jay Riley, is doing his best to try to just hold up right into the wind.
That was number 0.
Number 0.
And he ran a 4.48.
Oh, wow.
That's the best
Great
number so
job
far.
for that young man right
wind
there.
Aided.
4.4.
You got to bring up the wind aided.
I got you, but still, that's still a 4.4. As the next athlete comes back across, I think that's number 9, gets himself across. So it's going to be a pretty decent turn, but great job by number 0.
4.8.
That's a 4.8 right there. Not bad. Okay. Hey, each of these right here, I mean, I'm liking these scores, even though, as Jay, you'd pointed out, yes, it's downwind. I get you. That's fine.
It's wind aided. But
it's wind aided, but hey, it's giving you a good barometer at the speed ability at the 40-yard. And as we had talked about, 40 yards in football, that means you are wide open somewhere if you're getting 40 yards down the field.
Keep an eye on this one right here. He's put together pretty well.
Yeah,
too.
this.
Great camera shots we got right here. Good job by our on-field guys. He gets off the ball. Look at that.
Look
at this. This is going to be a mover. All right, so we on the best on the clock right now is number 0 at a 4.4. As we're going to have the huddle of the stopwatches.
4.5.
4.5. Okay, so we'll take that. That's still a good run. Jay, I think that's 2 or 3 4.5s that you've been able to look over the shoulder and see.
Yeah.
With 4.4 being the best.
Well, so far this team is these guys have come with some pretty good speed.
Well, they have, and I
got a 4.72,
yeah,
a 4.5,
and then that
down,
amazing 4.4,
a 4.48.
Wow. Okay. And the next one's up. Good kind of wide stance. He's got those legs going, Jay.
You see that burst?
Yes, right there from the beginning. I think that's number 7. Great job by him coming off that line. I like the fact that he kept his head down, almost like a track. When you see in track and field, they just run with their head down for that first 10 yards, just to get that focus on their form. As you see him, number 7, finish out right there. Good start and good finish.
That one was a 5.12.
Okay, 5.12.
Just got
the big guy.
Just got word that last guy going, his name is Jaree Pitt. Jaree Pitt. Yeah,
okay.
Number 7.
Number 7, Jaree Pitt. All right, we'll take that.
Slowly getting the roster
we're
here.
We're working
through
the roster, trying to get some names for you folks.
Try to get some.
We got it. But, hey, folks, we appreciate y'all being out and taking a look at this fantastic opportunity for these young men trying out for the Continental Football League San Antonio Toros. This is the player tryout brought to you live by Texas Sports Productions up here in beautiful San Marcos Academy as we just finished out the 40-yard dash. Jay, do you think you got any idea what the next drill is going to be?
Yes, they're going to do the 40 again, but this time into the wind.
Into the wind.
Why don't we take a break while they catch their breath?
Let's take a quick break. Hey, folks, we appreciate you watching. This is Texas Sports Productions, Continental Football League, San Antonio Toros player tryouts up here in San Marcos Academy. We'll be right back.
Hey, Dad, any information?
Welcome back live to San Marcos Academy up here in beautiful San Marcos as we are watching the San Antonio Toros player tryouts. Going through a lot of agility drills. We've gone through a 20-yard dash, and we're going through a 40-yard dash times 2. One into the wind, and now this one is downwind, and this one's into the wind as we see athlete number 1 get himself down for the 40-yard dash. We already got some great times that were logged in the first 40. That's going to be wind aided, but we had some 4.5s, 4.4s, really impressive times. And then even going back into that first 20-yard dash, we had a 2.6 that was registered out there. These are some fast athletes that are out here trying out for the San Antonio Toros. Next athlete up, here he goes. That's number 10, getting himself down there. Again, folks, this is a wind-aided 40 that was done. Now this is into the wind.
4.94 on that last one.
4.94. Okay.
Sub-5 into this wind is going to be pretty good.
Yeah, I was going to say, into the wind like this right here, we're going to see a little bit higher numbers than your normal, but you're still going to see the effort that's put through. So we're only going to talk about fractions of seconds here, folks. And number 6 gets himself off the blocks and then down. He's going to get a 5.
Yeah, and also, it's the position. You don't expect your offensive tackle to run 4.40. So,
well, if you do, that's a guy I would put a huge check mark as we see the replay right here.
Sign him today.
6, getting himself down there. Yeah, if you've got a 4-5 offensive tackle, you might want to rethink his positioning. Speaking of the big guys right here. Number 4, we like to see him. He has been making effort all morning long out here at San Marcos Academy for the San Antonio Toros tryouts. Not only just the speed, but just, keeping his mind in the game, keeping his mind on the tryouts, staying in it, making his best efforts there as he gets up in that stance. This is going to be player started, so it's not like a shotgun start or anything. It's just whenever you're ready and they hit that stopwatch, as he takes it across the finish line for his time. Number 4 gets himself down the field. That's going to be the best thing that he can do. And as we look to the rest of the athletes, a lot of them are looking at their fellow teammates and the times that they're having. And this is exactly how you start to compare yourself. We see the fantastic replay there of showing the effort to get down the field, and it's just pretty impressive. Jay, what kind of excitement are you seeing as they come across that 40-yard line?
These guys are still grunting it out, man. They know they're still in it. They're starting to get a little more tired as the tryouts go.
Rightfully so.
On because again, football is a game of burst.
Yeah.
And to consistently turn it on for a 40-yard dash can wear you down. But these guys, you can see the look on their face. They want it.
Well, two big, great sponsors we want to throw out to Complete Care, their emergency room services, and South Texas Spine and Surgicals. We see the next athlete, number 9, getting himself in the 40-yard dash. He's got some good legs off of that, Jay.
That was good. Good job there. They're going to settle on 5-3-1.
5-3, okay.
5-3-1. Not shabby at all.
Not shabby at all. And again,
that wind has gusted up again too. So.
Well, the good thing is we're starting to hear a little bit of the wind in your mic, which is good. That ought to help our audience understand that, hey, when these athletes are posting, 4 9s, 4 6s, 5s, etc., hey, that's into the wind, folks, and that's still trying to make your best effort into a headwind.
Here comes number 11. I think he ran the first one at 4.5.
Okay.
So this young man's got some wheels.
Like to see that. One, you can see where they're taking their time. They're very methodical about their setup. I like that because they're getting this one shot here at a 40-yard dash, and as we start to rotate back through the player lineups, this is going to be a good one. Off the line very well. Look at that. Got the head down, back straight, number 11. Really taking Jay. That's going to be a good time.
Kenny Jay, looking at the roster, I believe I got that man's name. His name is Michael Culberson.
Culberson. Okay.
4-9 on that one.
4-9. Culberson.
Into the wind. I mean, yeah.
Culberson.
Especially when you run a little more upright.
Yeah, look at this right here. Look, it keeps his head down, keeps those arms driving, Bradley. Look at that. Toes out, getting there, reaching, stretching all the way. Didn't look like he pulled up at all until he was a good 10 yards beyond that.
First 20
marker.
Close and then open up that last 20.
Yep. He is definitely a player.
Yeah, and we got number 8 that's back up.
Number 8
Still
coming
trying
up
to
here. His first run was the 4.84. So obviously he can run too.
Yeah, absolutely. The good thing is we're trying to get the names. We've already got monikers. We have blue shoes. We have orange shoes. We're just trying to do the best we can on the names here. But, folks, at the end of the day, this is still a great effort tryout here for the San Antonio Toros. And these young men trying to further their football dreams, further their football opportunities. See the next guy coming off the line. Look at that. Arms pumping. I like that. Number 8 getting himself down. That's going to be a pretty decent run into the wind, Jay.
5 flat.
5 flat.
I think I've got a name for you guys for number 8. That is Kwasami Olajuwon Brown, I believe.
Brown, okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's a player too, guys.
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
He's trying
absolutely.
to get some names for everybody right now.
See him finish up right there at the tail end. Look at that. I mean, kept the legs going, kept the arms going. I like to see that.
Here comes number 7.
Number 7. Still, folks, remind me.
Jaree Pitt is the
Pitt.
Our next one.
We'll take Pitt, number 7, as he gets lined up here. One hand down. And here he's off. Look at that. Head down. Good drive. Good drive. Legs out front, pointing his toes. That's going to be a pretty decent time.
That was a good first 20 yards right there.
Absolutely. He's got some big thighs, too. I mean, he's got some power as he came off that initial block start.
He ran a 5.12 on the first one, a 5.47 into the wind.
Okay.
Into the wind.
Well, that right there shows you.
What I liked about him, he was really explosive.
Yeah.
He came off the line and got to his top speed pretty quickly.
Yeah, he was chugging.
Yes, he did. That first 20 was quick.
I like to see that young man. He's got a big lower body, what I call from the waist down, big, strong thighs, good calves. You like to see that in your athlete. I don't know what he's trying out for as far as position-wise, but looking at him, I'm thinking either a linebacker, a fullback, something like that. But he's got some good power as we finish out the 40-yard dash. Folks, this is live from the San Marcos Academy up here. This is really exciting stuff. Live presentation brought to you by Texas Sports Productions. And, my broadcast partner, Bradley Riley, as we see each of the athletes getting themselves into positions. Of course, we got our fantastic on the field, trying to stay warm, Jay Riley down on the field there. What have they said what the next drill is going to be? Looks like they're trying to set up for some agility stuff with the cones.
It looks like some cone drills are about to come up. You've seen it at the NFL Combine. Most of this is no different than what they do there.
Yeah.
But why don't we take a quick break while they get set up, and we'll be back in about 60 seconds.
Absolutely. We are right back, folks. This is live from San Marcos Academy, San Antonio Toros player tryouts, brought to you by Texas Sports Productions.
Hi, we're the San Antonio Toros. We're the newest football team in Texas, so we thought we'd tell you who we are and what we're about. In 1966, the Texas Football League was formed, and thus the San Antonio Toros were born. They joined the original Continental Football League and made it all the way to the championship in their very first season. The Continental Football League is back in 2025 with a revitalized logo, look, and a whole new model, which makes it the People's League. But we'll get into that later. With the COFL returning, obviously we had to bring back the Toros. Since the league got a makeover, we figured we deserved one too, and with that came new logos and word marks. But we wanted to make sure we were still rooted in history, so our new logos have the same colors as the original: Old Brick Red, Black, and Victory White. We also wanted to make sure that San Antonio was ingrained in our brand all the way down to the logos, so we incorporated the Alamo. Now, like we said earlier, this is the People's League, which means it's owned by you, the fans. And to do that, we use a thing called WeFunder. Through WeFunder, you, the fan, are able to buy ownership in our team. Think like the Green Bay Packers. If you choose to buy a part of the Toros, you get a certificate of ownership. The bigger part you buy, the cooler things come with the certificate, like season tickets, an official ball, a game jersey, or even a helmet. All of this helps us accomplish our mission of our 5 pillars: integrity, city pride, player development, fan ownership, and legacy. And if we accomplish our mission, we guarantee pro outdoor football is here to stay. So what do you say? Are you ready to join the Stampede?
And welcome back to beautiful San Marcos Academy. I'm Ken Lucas, up in the booth with Bradley Riley. Down on the field, Jay Riley. This is the San Antonio Toros player tryouts for the Continental Football League, and we've already gone through a pad drill. We've already gone through a 20-yard dash run times 2 and a 40-yard dash. And now we're going over some 3-cone drill and a 5-10-5. Jay, down to the field for you for good explanation. How's it feel?
Yeah, completely here agility drills. This is moving from, like we said, football is not played in a huge area, so you got to be agile, getting around players, getting off blocks, stuff like that. And so this is what this agility drill shows, is your ability to move around and get to where you need to be.
Yeah, and as we see, we're doing some replays here. The 40-yard dash, we got number 7 Pitt getting himself down the field there, kept his legs chugging. I like to see that. But yeah, Jay, you had just mentioned that this is an agility drill. That's why they call it the 3-cone drill. This is nothing but, getting to a 1 cone all the way to the 2nd cone, then back to that 3rd cone. And it's all side-to-side lateral, and everything that we're talking about, folks, is within 10 yards. So, Jay, I think your point's very valid that a lot of football is played within the 10-yard mark, and a lot of battles are won and lost inside that 10-yard mark. So this is a great drill for that. Yeah,
and again, athleticism really shows itself when you're doing these kinds of drills. And just the speed – let's face it, speed kills in football. and the faster your guys are, the faster they react.
Yeah, and we're still looking at some of the 40-yard dash runs right here. I tell you, Jay, going back to that, that was just several impressive runs, both downwind, aided with the wind, and then, of course, into the wind with a little bit different. But, hey, right now it's all about the speed stuff, but we are back down to that 3-cone drill, and, Jay, the agility so far that I've seen in the first 4 or I'd say 5 or 6 so far, Bradley, what I'm seeing is really good side-to-side movement, and not only their speed, but their ability to get to the cone, get off the cone, and then get back to that next cone.
That burst of speed at the end. If you ever played basketball, you know what suicides are. And this is basically the suicide drill of football.
And
it's all about putting your foot in the ground and getting back the other direction.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I was just about to say is this is while the 40-yard dash is more north-south testing, now it's east-west testing. Testing your ability to get east-west, side-to-side, change direction, stop on a dime, and get it up there. I think that's pretty impressive right now. And these young men are showing their three-cone drill style right here. And for each of these players, Jade, back down to the field, each of these players, I can tell that they're looking at it and they're lining up for it. And actually, it looks like they're doing a good encouraging of each one of their players that are out there.
Oh, yeah, this has looked good so far. It's the 5-yard, 10-yard, 5-yard drill.
Yeah.
And they're really working it. And I'm going to try to get in there and see what kind of times we're looking at. But remember this guy, he ran a great 40.
100%. Look at this.
Little overran
just a little
little overran that one.
But you know that's okay. Looking at number 11, I think that's Culverson, who ran a 4.940.
That was just a 5.1.
That was a 5.1 side-to-side agility. And as we see the next one up right here, again, going back to it's a three-cone drill. You're going from one center cone out to your right cone first, which is 5 yards from you. Then you're going to go 10 yards over to the next cone, and then which is your 10-yard. Then you're going to get out to the outside. This is nothing but a pure agility drill here for the players trying out for the San Antonio Toros.
This drill tells me a lot more about a player than the 40-yard dash does.
Okay,
This shows me your ability to stop on a dime and go the other direction.
Well, is this not football? I mean,
exactly.
This is what it is. Yeah, you got a 40-yard dash. Yeah, you got.
You don't really get to open up for 40 yards like we were talking about unless it's a big play. This is where the moments are made, and this kind of drill right here kind of shows who's got their mindset in the right place and being able to just a reverse play, a stretch play, a running back decides to go the other direction. You know how to put your foot in the ground and go the other direction.
This one of those athletes, number 5 right here, as you see him getting through the drill back and forth. A little slip. He's going to get himself back out there. I think we're back through the rotation now, Jay, because they're going the opposite direction. They're starting off with their left side. We're working on trying to get names for you folks.
4.5.
Okay, 4.5.
That was as I've seen so far.
Okay. Let's see the next player. Good run by number 12.
Some of these guys aren't on the list.
Another good. Sorry, Bradley. Another good one. 4.9 on that one.
Yeah, and I tell you, this is where some of that fatigue starts to set in. Look at that burst of speed there. Number 13 showing how good effort there off that. I think that's going to be a really good time, Jay. Number 13 showing his moxie out there on the side-to-side drill.
4.72.
Oh.
Wow, that's a good one.
Ton of effort on that one, too.
Absolutely. Getting some great shots here down the line as he goes off, comes back to the left, back down to his right, get that right foot planted, and then take off. That's where we had talked about, that 20-yard dash. After you get that side to side, that next movement is a 10-yard sprint. That's what it is. So, it's half that 20-yard that they were testing, but it's still a 10-yard sprint, if you will, after you've already done some agility side to side. As you see the next athlete stepping up, that's number 10. He ran a 4.94 in the 40. Gets himself back across the line there. I like the fact that they're really looking at the effort on both sides. It's not just about the finish. It's about how did you slow down your body. Right here, see the next athlete. Slow down your body, get yourself planted, and then get yourself back up. And he tripped up at the tail end there. Might have pulled up a little hammy on that one, Jay.
Yeah.
He doesn't feel comfy after that one.
Yeah.
Lots of these coming in under 5 now. The last 3 or 4 have come in under 5. That last one just a little over.
Okay. So we're seeing some really impressive times being posted here on the 3-cone drill. So there's your 5. He's going to go 10. And now it's 10 again. All right, he got himself. That's athlete number 20. I don't have a name for him yet.
4.62.
We'll try to work on that. Look at that. Posted a 4.62.
Yeah,
that's an impressive
one
side-to-side
right
drill
there.
here. I like this young man. He's had his sunglasses on the whole time, Jay. He kind of slipped up and pulled off of that one right there. I don't know what happened. He slipped on that second cut.
Yeah. 5.03.
5.03. That's still not too bad. Still not too bad right there. Good. We're live from San Marcos Academy here. Texas Sports Productions bringing you this live stream. San Antonio Toros player tryouts. Oh, got a little spun around there by number 11. Yeah.
Such force.
He did, and I think he couldn't get that left foot planted on that initial cut off that first one. We see the replay right there. Yeah, he just slipped up, Jay. We're looking at the replay up here in the booth. And then he broke down pretty nice on the second one, but I think he knew at that point he wasn't going to get a good time anyway, so he pulled up. But, hey, that's a good effort right there. As we see this next athlete, look at this guy go.
He had the same effort the first time.
Look at that.
He really hustled. Yeah, I think the one just before this one, he might be a little stiff right now. You see him laying on the ground right now, trying to work some things out. It's cool.
See, the next athlete right there kind of lost his footing a little bit, got a little haywire coming off that initial cut, but I think that's going to be a pretty good speed for that young man. So they huddle up over there. You can see number 5 bouncing right there, Jay, as you were just talking about. They're trying to stay warmed up, trying to stay agile, trying to stay loose, because you can't just go from it's real tough when you go from 0 to a side-to-side agility drill like that. And that one's going to be pretty impressive.
Okay. Yeah, they're going to go to the 3 now.
Okay.
But, again, for those of you who weren't with us earlier, this is going to be San Antonio's team. The ownership group will be people in San Antonio, not only Josh Mayer, who is the general managing partner of. When you buy, really, it's you invest in the team, you get your tickets.
Yeah.
And the city can own this team, and that's the sustainability. I'm sorry, my face is cold. Sustainability of this business model is have the team owned by the people in the city, and I think it's a brilliant move. People will have a say. There's an advisory board that you'll be on, and you'll get your season tickets along with your investment and along with your ownership papers.
Yeah.
It's a great thing. And when they explained it to me in our first meeting, I was kind of like a dog that you make noise at. You kind of tilted my head a little bit. Like, huh? And then they said Green Bay Packers idea. Now, no one who has a share of stock for the Green Bay Packers gets to sit in on the meetings and really have anything to do with the direction of the team. But you will hear that's a different animal here. Is an advisory board. It's all about San Antonio. The success that the Toros had years back in the 60s when it was first here, and now it's back. I can tell the ownership group is all in on making this a successful football developmental team. They want their players to move up and go to the UFL to see the NFL.
That's correct, and again, right there, you can see on your screen, folks. What a great model that's been put together by Josh Meyer, the managing partner for the San Antonio Toros. But make sure that you go to that website, wefunder.com/san.antonio.toros, and get some more information about how you can absolutely support this great organization, this new resurgence of the San Antonio Toros. And as you see the athletes now moving on to not only a side-to-side drill, you've got some north-south, and then as you see it's one cone, two cone, and then around the cone, and then around the back cone, and now that's where the time stops as number 1 finishes out that agility drill right there. This is a little bit difficult. Again, going back to what, Bradley, what we heard from Coach Clark, the ability that they've only heard this explanation of this drill one time. Mm-hmm. Okay, are you coachable? Can you hear it one time and then execute? Mm-hmm. That's kind of the non-athletic stuff as we see the next athlete getting up there. I think that's number 10 coming around the corner right there. And again, getting north-south off of that. That's that coachability aspect of, hey, I need to coach you one time. Are you able to absorb it and do something off of it?
This drill is all about the angles. And,
100%.
If you watch football is all about angles, outside containment, all that. So this is all about how close you can get to that cone, back, support just like the last drill, and then right here is all about angles, how fast you can turn around, go the opposite direction, and then round it off right there.
Kind of reminds me of barrel racing.
A little
Jay.
bit, yeah. It kind of is, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I just pulled a hamstring watching it.
But you're right, yeah, Bradley. It's all about the agility, but this is I say the culmination, because it's not just a north-south speed, and it's not just an east-west, side-to-side speed. This is a good combo of it all. This is a good athletic drill here for these athletes coming out here trying out for the San Antonio Toros. This is a good showcase of their overall ability, all combined into one drill.
And this pertains to every position in every part of the game, not just the quarterback, cornerback, running back, O-line, D-line. This is for everybody on the field. It needs to be able to be agile like these guys are right now.
Yeah, great job at number 20.
That was a good run.
Good
no
run
matter how
by
big you
number
are.
20. Yeah, Bradley, look at it. Jay's going to do his best to try to help us out with the times down there, but number 20 really looked
He's
good.
showing pretty good on these drills. Edmund Culberson, I think was his name, number 11. Those guys are really showing out right now.
They really are.
That was a 7.6. 7.6.
Okay,
There's
I
that
like it.
Jaree Pitt. He's been showing out today as well. He's got some good pickup speed.
Had a good day today.
There's a good touch. Second touch,
Ooh,
he'll come around that cone, then get around that side. Nice cut right there. Look at this.
The
Versus
upper body
speed.
balance on that right there.
Great
for
job
a big
by
guy.
Pitt.
For a big guy, that was good upper body balance to get around that on that last part of the drill.
Good agility off of that, and I like to see that. As you see the replay right here,
That was
just
an
look at him.
8.15, guys.
8.15. Okay.
I don't know if he wants to be running back, linebacker, but that looked good for both.
Either way, he's got some good what I call
very agile
get down position. You know, he's able to get low, get your hand down low. That's also testing you as you see the next athlete just get himself around the cone. Burst of speed right there, young man. Get yourself across. That's number 9 finishing
Number 9
out.
looks like the quarterback.
That was a real smooth run.
That was a good smooth run. It looks like he kind of pulled up a little gimpy off of that as well. Again, agility drills are going to do that, folks. That's where you start to feel and you start to see that hey, some of these athletes might not have fully stretched out. They probably haven't been doing these types of drills very often, and he might pull up a little bit.
Too much turkey, and it's cold out here.
Look at this run. This is going to be a good run right here. Good time around the corner.
Very good.
What?
Don't have a number on that young man, but he's got some good scoots.
What number? Not numbered. He is unnumbered.
And, Jay, I'm looking down the field towards the scoreboard down there. It looks like we have a individual who's lining up for either some field goals out there as well. So, again, folks, this is a reminder. This is open tryouts for all positions.
Everything.
For the San Antonio Toros. It's not just skilled athletes. This isn't just a 7-on-7. This is football, folks. So we're talking big guys, linebackers, running backs, quarterbacks, even the special teams with the kickers. And this is exactly what the San Antonio Toros want to see is the attraction out here of bringing your skill set and your athleticism. And everybody up here in the booth, maybe not so much for Bradley, my broadcasting partner here, but I can tell you right now for Jay Riley and I, our football days are over. We're not out here trying this out.
Hey,
so
guys,
I could be the mascot. I don't know if I could compete with these guys, but I could be the mascot, or I could be water boy.
Hey,
Mama said.
Hey, guys, that last one was sub-8, and it was a high school kid.
Oh, hey, okay. So, all right,
Okay.
I like that.
That's why he can't get his name.
Looks like we're taking a little break here. Why don't we come back in about 60 seconds?
Yeah, hey, let's take a quick
That'll
break
work.
here. Hey, we're bringing you live action from San Marcos Academy, live stream presentation by Texas Sports Productions for the Continental Football League San Antonio Toros player tryouts. We'll be back in just a minute.
They want me to fail, this is personal. They sleeping on me, this is perjury. You making nobody else heard of you. Tell them that the perfect beat for the
There's my wandering eyes going, oh, look, they're kicking down here.
How many times did they pass me up? I'm cool. Can't walk on my shoes, I'm kicking it. Wanted you big to see that it's working. Grow from the L's, they see wins on the surface. Falling my wins, I do it on purpose. Playing with you, take you class to the circus. One time for the yellow dogs, 2 times.
He looks like a high school kid.
You know I did it for my mama now. Only people know who proud of me. Now I'm getting where I gotta be. Everybody want me take off. You brought the beast from inside of me. I bet on myself and it paid off. Can't switch on the code. They wanna hold me back. I said they must be joking. Look at me cool and calm collected. Yeah, I'm coasting. You ain't stop me. Yeah, I got some motion. I got some motion. They wanna hold me back. I said you must be joking. And they ain't missing.
We're back here at San Marcos Academy for the San Antonio Toros player tryouts for the Continental Football League, and let's throw it down to the field. Jay Riley, who's got a very young special guest.
A junior at Steele High School. Give him your name, bud.
My name is Quentin Humphrey.
Quentin Humphrey plays for the Steele Knights. I know
Steele
a disappointing night the other night, but that is high school football in the state of Texas. You're up against great competition as well.
Yes, sir.
Talk about what you're doing out here today. We saw you run the 40. Saw you do drills.
Yes, sir. My dad actually coached, well, not really a coacher, but he gave me the opportunity to come out here. He said it's a great opportunity to see what these older players that possibly could make it in the league as well. He also told me that this is an opportunity for myself. Come out here, show what my name could be out. Could put my name out there. He also believes that I could make it in the league or possibly go somewhere else if I keep on putting the work in.
Outstanding. Go enjoy yourself and stay strong, bud. Those Steel Knights, we love them. Thank you.
Heck of a season this year.
Yeah, we were just watching his foot drill as he was talking. We were seeing him go through that 3-cone drill, and how impressive is that, Bradley, that 16-year-old junior at Steele High School getting an opportunity to try out, at least get his name out there. You know what I mean? He's an athlete already. Hey, the Steele Knights, if you haven't been anywhere near high school football or even on the planet Earth, you all know that Steele Knights is an impressive football program up there in the Shirt-Cibolo area, and they are always deep playoff contenders. So having this young man come out here and at least get his name out there, I think it goes back to that word opportunity, right, Bradley?
And not just that, the word heart. It shows that the boy has the heart for the game. He loves the game. He's had a full week. Steele, unfortunately, their season came to an end against Johnson a few nights ago. But he's here on a Sunday. He's got school tomorrow.
Yeah, he's
here on a Sunday, spending his free time.
Yeah.
Still loves the game. Here to try out at 16 years old. I mean, the future is bright for that young man.
Very, very bright. And
hey, guys, let's make sure we're getting the shot.
Oh,
of
yeah, we are. I was
the
just
kicking.
Throwing it down there. We're looking at all the replays.
You can feel the thump
so
when
far.
He kicks it.
He's putting it down there, Jay. It's tough to see from this angle whether he's making them or not.
He is.
Might have to use your on-field eyes for that piece. But I tell you, he's setting up for it, and he's got a leg. And so far, looking at where the balls are all spotted down there, he's putting them through. And, Jay, that could be an advantageous
with the wind
position for number 3 to come in with a leg for the San Antonio Toros.
Well, Ken, you know as much as anybody, there's 3 phases.
Absolutely.
There's offense and special teams.
Yeah.
And when you have a kicker that can win games for you, you've got a leg up.
Yeah, and Jay, you and I have seen it along with Bradley for Texas Sports Production at the high school level. You know, how many times has a clutch kick come in or a clutch PAT come in, or just the coach's ability to go, hey, you know what, I got a leg on this guy. That gives me point opportunities. And Bradley, we've seen that multiple times across the high school level. Heck, let's just even talk about the collegiate level. Sometimes it can come down to a 3-point game or a 1-point PAT. So this kicker, who that we're looking at right on the field now, who's really putting it out there, he's got the ball right at the 30-yard line and laying a leg into this thing. Jay, we're looking at a replay off of this one right now.
This is
actually that's live right there.
That's
right
good.
Nailed it. Yeah,
this is perfect weather to figure out who your kicker's going to be, because if he can kick in this, he can kick in any weather.
Well, he's got the wind at his back here, which is somewhat helping, but still, that was a 40-yarder that would have been good from deeper than that. So spotting it at the 30 makes it a 40-yard field goal attempt.
Yeah.
And he drilled it right down the throat.
Well, and
you got to be able to aim. You can have the leg, but you still got to be able to aim.
And the little things, Jay, that that you and I always talk about in the broadcast for a lot of the high school teams is the little things like he's kicking it and they're not just squibbly little ducks either. These are end over end, so he's getting good contact with that ball. Even though it's a little cold out there, it's almost like kicking a little rock. If you
you got a good wind too.
Not a lot of compression. Here we go with another kick.
He missed that one just a little wide right.
Okay.
But, Ken, like in golf and in baseball, when you hit – when you hear yourself hit the golf ball, then you hear a professional hit the golf ball,
Two
there's
sounds.
a difference. I mean, it's like a rifle going off and like a BB gun going off when I hit it. And you can hear the thump on these kicks that he's on, that he's got a leg.
I love the coaches there in his ear, too, kind of giving him some pointers, too. Let's try it out again. See if you're coachable, like we were talking about.
I think Jay just said my golf swing sounds like a wounded animal, out on the Sahara somewhere.
I've seen you play, brother.
Does the club stay in your hand? Because usually I launch the club into the trees because I don't.
That's usually not a good combo for golf here. Okay, so Jay,
get out of the way.
I was going to say, Jay, looks like we're going to do some agility drill down here on the other end of the field as we see number 3 still lining up for some kicks here. But
it's like a
as Jay Riley gets himself off the field, looks like we're going to be doing some passing and route running and some DB coverage there.
Little holding.
Don't want nobody get hurt.
Little holding.
Okay, now we're getting into football stuff. Okay, here we go. We're getting into our wheelhouse about what looks good and what looks needs some improvement, etc. As we see number 13 get down the field.
I seen it.
And then covered by number 12. Again, quickly going through my roster, seeing if we got names for you folks. We'll do our best to try to get you names. If anything, we'll call out the numbers. And, of course, you can see the great camera work here brought to you by Texas Sports Productions on this live stream here from San Marcos Academy.
Somebody's going to go over there.
Good catch by number 10.
Good slant.
Quick little slant route there. I remind you folks, now we go back, and now I got a little history to talk about. That's a guy who ran a 4.94 on the 40, so he's got some wheels off of that. And so now you've got, now we're back into a set out of the backfield. Looks like he's going to be a little flat out of the back. Look at that. Look at that fantastic handwork, Jay.
Boy, I tell you what, that's how you catch a football right there. And it was very nice, well-led pass there as well.
Ball out front. Good job with the hands. I like that. And we're going to bounce back and forth. We got a lot of action going on. We still got number 3, the kicker, who is just belting these balls down the field. And even though he's come up a little bit short, they're still right on target. Good hands there. Again, back out in the flat action here, practicing some offense for number 1. What I like too, Jay, is not only they're just doing back out of the flat up against what I call the green monster defender, which means there's nobody out there. They're putting a defender out there, so you're getting some good live action. You're getting a body on body, a little interference that, it's not just you running an open route and it's a real easy pass, but that's pretty exciting stuff that you got a defender that's going to back out on them. So we see number 13 make a cut as we're bouncing back and forth. Yeah, number 13 right there. Just try to reach out on that. A good defensive. So I think for both sides of the ball, Bradley, they're looking at, okay, maybe let's look at this defender and how well he can defend as well as the route.
Exactly, yeah. And these guys are out there having fun. You just saw those two that went up against each other right there, high-fiving each other to go off. I don't know if these guys are picking their routes they want to run. It's like, well, looking at that,
it's a little out and go.
Jaree Pitt? That is Jaree Pitt. Looks like he does want to be a running back. He came out of the backfield right there.
Yeah,
double move.
Double move off of that. Number 1 in the coverage off of that. So, again, you're getting a double look off of this, and I think this creates a unique opportunity for these players because, hey, let's say you are trying to be a wide receiver or a back.
A slot or wide out.
Or back, or a linebacker or a defensive back, either one. You're going to get these looks like this, and I like the fact that they're utilizing the time perfectly on offense and defense looks. Just a little overthrown off of that. But, hey, a pretty decent route. Great coverage by number 13 getting down the field as we flash back over on the kicking going on. He's booting this thing from the 35-yard line. Holy smokes. I think he made
that
one.
Yeah, that one went right through. Jeez. Probably would have been good from 55.
I don't know about you, Jay, but, hey, we see this route right here. There's Quentin Humphrey being covered by number 20. That's that young 16-year-old from Steele out here getting a name for himself.
Staying agile. Loves the game.
I like it, though. Jay Riley's going to go over and get the ball. Did you see him? He was walking over.
You notice I was walking.
That's called the fly. That's called the walk-fly route right there.
I can walk a 40 in about, I don't know,
I bet
45
you if he ran,
seconds.
Humphrey still would have got to the ball before he did.
See another good route here. Good throw. Oh, defender went down, but, hey, a good catch and reception. I'm trying to see the number. I think he's number 10. He's the one who ran a 4.94 earlier. He actually had a pretty good in cut a little post route earlier that I thought he did a really good job getting his hands on.
They're letting these guys, if you want to try quarterback or receiver, try one. Like, you can do both.
Well,
run a route or do a throw.
You never know. Hey, you might find somebody with an arm.
Exactly. You might have came out to try out for a wide receiver and find out you're a pretty darn good quarterback.
That's a great matchup right there. I don't know if we saw that real quick, but Culverson, number 11, who ran that 4.940, and one he just looks like an athlete, right, yep. Bradley? I mean, he comes out, he get a nice jam on that wide receiver. So he came out to this drill ready to play football like football should be played.
Just the way he runs, you can tell he's an athlete. The guy coming out of the backfield,
a little mix up on the route.
Not on the same page. That'll change.
He was doing a little out and up route number 1, doing an out and up, defended by number 20. Again, just, not like we're expecting perfect routes or perfect pass combos. I mean, these guys just met each other this morning.
Yeah.
But again, that's what the coaches are going to look at. Hey, if we call a 1 route, 2 route, 3 route, whatever it is, you got to know what that is and then execute it.
Some of these guys, you could tell, like, they're very young. They're just out of high school, just, maybe out of college. And then some of these guys look like the man running the route right there.
Yeah.
You can tell he's probably been playing for a little while. He seems a little bit more veteran than some of these guys out here. Some of these guys look younger than me.
Well, and again, I don't think that they're really evaluating the quarterback throw per se. So really what you're going to focus on that, at least from a player tryout positions. How well is he making his cut? How fast is he getting out of that break? That goes back to those agility drills that they were doing earlier. All this ties together, folks. Agility drills, 40-yard dashes, high knees, pads, all that comes down to this right here, and that's, can you play football and do football moves that are going to put yourself in an advantageous position, either on offense or defense?
Yep.
Yeah, and when you see a good route runner, it stands out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
Just like a bad route runner.
Agree.
Sticks out like a sore thumb. And I'm not – let's be honest, they need another tryout for a room of receivers.
Yeah. And that's where I think, again, this is just the first tryout. Again, first look at some of these athletes. Of course, they'll get a couple of these guys will probably get good head nods to say, all right, come back and – let's go to the second trial. Let's see what you can do on another try. But this is their first showcase. So, of course, you want to do the best that you can, put your best foot forward, etc. But for these coaches and the management and leadership that's out here, they're looking for good knowledge of the game, good athleticism, and then execution, as we see. Looks like, right there. Hey, that was that was Quentin Humphrey.
That was a good arm, too.
That was a good throw right there to the young 16-year-old from Steele High School to the outside right there.
One thing they're also looking into, you might have a bad route. You run a bad route. That's your only bad route. It's your mentality when you come back and run the next rep.
And is it fixable?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Are you coachable, and is it fixable? If it's something about just the way that athletically they're going to write it off. But if it's fixable, like, not being real sharp, well, that can be fixed. So that's another thing.
Whoa.
Oh.
What a great catch off of that. Wow. Yeah, what a good route run off of that.
Great catch.
Great catch. Sold out for that one. I like it. That shows that heart. Got the defense back there. A little thing I saw on the far side there. I know we were just talking about the young guy, Quentin Humphrey, out of Steele High School, 16 years old. Missed that pass up there on the top side. Guess what he was doing back over there, back behind the athletes? He cranked out 10 push-ups, Jay. So he's been coached up that, hey, you drop that ball, you do some push-ups. He just cranked them out on the backside. So
his dad's here, too, so that could have been dad. You know what to do.
Good little back out of
it. You do it here, you do it at home. Pick one.
Back out of the backfield, number 1. Just trying to do a little button hook route right there. Good coverage by number 20. We've seen number 20 on defense pretty much the whole time. So he looks like he might be a defensive tryout linebacker for the San Antonio Toros.
There's another thing to Humphrey. I got to give more kudos to the young man. Come out here on a Sunday. And he could be at home resting. He's still got school, and he's had a pretty full week, pretty full 4 weeks of high school football because Steele had one heck of a season. But he's out here.
And that right there, I don't know about you all, but the first thing I noticed about that young man, even though it was an overthrown ball and missed, I don't know if we can get a replay off of that, but he broke down off of that perfectly on that route. and I mean came back. That's where that agility drill comes back in, is the fact that you can get left and right. Look at it was just right before that. That's fine. Hey, we got some great camera work that's trying to catch all of the action that's going on down here on the field, whether it's offensive throws, this amazing kicker who's just been belting it down on the other end of the field. But, you know, that's where those agility drills come into handy is, hey, you showcase that in a drill. Now can you do it out on the field and do it live?
Practice makes perfect. That is for sure.
So, Jay, they're giving the route to the receivers, and it looks like they're either lining up as a receiver or lining up as a back out of the backfield. Oh, look at that.
Boy, that's not a bad pass at all. Nice route run. You got to hand it to the DB. He broke on the ball. He just didn't get there.
Good hands there by
that was Quentin
Humphrey. Yeah, see this right here. And he got number 10 as the quarterback. We got the camera on him right now, Jay. He's looking. He's got a good form, good tight spiral. Great job by Quentin Humphrey pulling that one in.
Yeah, he has thrown some nice passes.
We talked about, look at right there in the center of your screen, folks, just to the left of the quarterback. That's Pitts, I believe, number 7 out of the backfield. Good coverage by number 20. That would have probably been holding, Jay, but
yeah, like
little defensive holding pass interference off of that. But number 7 showing his out of the backfield ability and agility. We've seen him do the best he could on his sprints. We saw him really take off that line, that quick burst speed.
Yeah, his burst of speed is quick.
Yeah, that burst of speed's real quick. And then on second part of that is, fact he's able to finish out his route and then finish it with a great completion. But good reminder, folks. We are watching the Continental Football League's San Antonio Toros tryouts. You can learn more on social media by going to Instagram or X at COFL Toros or the team's website, COFLToros.com. Make sure that you go there and get some more information about the San Antonio Toros. We are excited to not only bring you today's playoff tryouts here presented by Texas Sports Productions, but we're excited just for the entire San Antonio community and the fact that the Continental Football League is back, and it's going to come back even better, in my opinion, at the helm of Josh Mayer, the managing partner over there, as well as the GM, Ned Harrington. We got the owner, Quincy Workman. We got a couple of coaches that are out here today. Again, there's a lot of buzz that's happening around the San Antonio Toros. So make sure that you go check them out at their website, COFLToros.com, and get some more updates as we see another route down the field. A little underthrown, but again, that's the quarterback. And they're not focused on necessarily the quarterback arm. They're really looking at the route runs.
Yeah. And another thing, going back to the Toros, this, like we said, this isn't the only tryout. This is the first of a few. Mm-hmm. And we'll keep you all updated on all the links to everything, TSP, WeFunder, all that for the next tryouts to come in the future and all the other info you need about the Toros.
Good cut route off of that, number 10.
Look at some summertime football.
Yeah, I like that.
I love it.
We saw number 10 earlier, Jay. He was throwing the ball pretty well. That time a great in route there up against number 11 defending.
Well-run route.
That's Culverson.
Well-run route.
And I'm looking at him. That's great hands in the cold, in the wind. He doesn't even have gloves on.
Nope.
All right.
No frozen hands. That was the hardest part about playing receiver in the cold. Your hands are stuck together.
Especially
even if you want to put them in your pockets, the heat warmer, it doesn't help. You still have to pull them out to catch the ball.
Especially when your quarterback's throwing heaters all day long.
Yeah, I would hate to be Michael Vick playing in Philly when it was that cold.
Might as well just be throwing a rocket or a missile at your hands. Here comes it's going to be a short throw there. A good defense out on the outside. I like the fact that offense and defense are playing, pretty much lights out.
They're going lights out both sides.
They're going good in the fact that defenders aren't just letting the routes happen. Mm-hmm. They're actually trying to defend up against it, as you should. If you're going to try out, let's try out in a real game style situation.
And if you look at after each rep, if there's any coachability to go, the coaches are out there talking to the guys. You can do this a little better and see if they soak that in and do that on the next rep.
100%.
And if they keep doing the same thing, then they're not coachable. If you messed up and coach tells you about it and he tells you what you should do to fix it and you do the complete opposite of what you did in the rep before on that next rep, that's coachability right there. being able to recognize it too, because then you only have a split second to make that decision.
Now we're going to shift it up. We're going to get 2 receivers. You see the great on-field camera work here. Our cameraman Prince down there on the field with the mobile. Look at this little double pump, double move. He's going to throw it to the inside route. Up underneath, came back to it. Good coverage by number 20.
Did number 10 I think he dodged that trash can that's on the field, and it looks like he might have pulled a hammy a little bit, but he last second saw that and leaped over it.
Yeah, kind of a defensive back,
Orange shoes. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
This is Sandlot football right now.
That's right.
Run to the garbage can.
Go to the garbage can. That's right. Hey, why not? You got it. But I like this. Now they're bringing out a double wide receiver or a twins look and letting defenders run with them and down the field. Jay, one of the better things that I've seen so far on the route running here is so far they're throwing a lot of long, deep routes. So they're letting their wide receivers get down the field.
Yeah, and then there's one right out of the backfield type of
back out of the
pass there. But, this is taking a look at your top end speed. It's one thing to run a 40-yard dash by yourself, but run it with another guy that just, you ran a 4.7 and he ran a 4.72. It's not going to make any difference on that long of a play.
Correct, 100%. We even got some good coach work here. We're looking at the left side, getting the coach down on his knees with number 4. That's Quintana. Getting coached up more at a O-line, D-line level here while we got the skills going on. Another great pass to the top side there, trying to get it out there. I like the fact that they are showing good game time situations, Bradley, and the fact that you got 2 receivers, 2 defenders, and then even at the same time you've got a coach down here doing some O-line work. And I'm still looking down to the far side. This is almost like a 3-ring circus going on here, Jay. We got a lot going back and forth. We got really good camera work here and great director work by David Kusenberg. Of course, my fantastic partner up here, Bradley Riley.
There's a lot more going on.
And then Dylan. We got to call out Dylan. He's doing some shots, but we got a great production crew here, brought to you by Texas Sports Productions. As we look at coaches coaching so on the offensive side, we got a coach down here working on O-line, D-line. We still got a kicker over here on the far right side who's lining. He's still banging them out there at about 30 out, or 40 out.
40, yeah.
He's still getting his leg in there.
It's a lot
40.
different from a lot of our high school production we did this year because we were focused on one spot. We got a lot going on right now on the field, so we got to bounce back and forth. And our guys up here and our camera guys are doing a great job.
Yeah, Ken, I think he'll tell you he didn't. It's kind of like he hit a good drive down the middle, but you didn't just smack it.
Yeah.
He hit that one good, but not like he's used to. It wasn't going end over end. It was kind of a knuckleballer. But still, it would have counted as 3. It would have counted as 3.
Well, and I like the fact that, as we see the players huddled up on this next drill as they break out and come out. They're still coming out in that twins look. They actually looks like
they're doing linebacker, safety, and cornerback on the defensive end.
Yeah, it looks like they got 20 playing kind of a linebacker look for an underneath route. Now they're going to bring a safety. So now they're really showing good, strong 3-on-3 work, or 2-on-3 3 or 4, whatever you want to call it, with the inside linebacker. But now they're going to bring a safety over the top. Yeah. So again, this is all about skill position, skill looks. Look at the type of athletes that you have out here, and this is exactly what you want from a coaching position, is to be able to see them in live action. Still kind of hear the Jay. The good thing is,
a little bit of wind out
still got the wind going on down there for you, my friend.
Yeah, I'm so happy. Here on the 45.
Yeah, look at this. I mean, this is going to be a booming kick. Off of this one right here. This is going to be huge. He's got the ball placed at the 45.
60.
This is a 60-yarder. Yeah, we're going to get a camera on this, folks.
That's going to be a 55-yarder.
This is a 55-yard attempt.
He just left it out to the right,
but he had the leg for it.
I think he had the right stick.
Watch out, buddy.
Watch about. And we got
got hit in the fanny.
Jay Riley.
Luckily, that was a football because you were about to get taken out.
Give him a good handshake right there, Jay. He did a double move to avoid you off of that one.
Thank God, because they had to call 911.
But you're right, Jay. I mean, he's got some leg on him as this kicker. Look at him back and forth. Still going out. That's a little wobbler, but that's going to be about
short.
2 yards,
Just
Jay.
a hair short.
Max.
Got it, though, with the wind,
Max.
the elements, and everything.
And that's still lots of leg.
Yeah.
That's still a good leg off of that. That's something I'll tell you the coaching staff are really going to be excited about for that young man. If he gets that head nod for the San Antonio Toros, that is a skilled position that you definitely want in your kicking game.
14 years ago, it's the last time he kicked.
14 years ago.
Wow.
He was back in high school.
Look at that young
Haven't
man
lost
right there.
anything.
I'd say he hasn't lost much at all.
Nope.
I'm hoping he's played some soccer, Jay, because he's still got a leg.
What's your name, bud?
Levi Rico?
Levi Rico. And you kicked in high school?
Yes, sir.
What high school?
Chilton High School, Chilton ISD.
Okay. And you said that was 14 years ago?
Yes, sir, about 14 years ago.
What was your long in high school?
I believe it was like a 35. I was a lot younger, so I may have more strength now. So
Apparently. Well, what made you think, after 14 years you wanted to come out and try it again?
I don't know. I was just seeing like a flyer online. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try.
Let's see
Jay,
you hit a 50-yarder right
Hey, Jay, ask him how's his leg feeling after 14-year hiatus.
Yeah, good point. How's your leg feeling right now? Have you been kicking all along, or you just kind of goofing around with it, or this is first time?
First time since high school. So
All right, so Ken, cut him some
Okay,
slack.
I'll
Quit
give him
telling him
some
he
slack.
can't do this.
Prove it. Prove it.
It's been 14 years.
It's been 14 years.
That's
I'll
pretty
give-
good for 14 years right there.
Heck, man, he made a 45-yarder after not kicking for 14 years.
That's
And he's
impressive.
up here at the 40.
Obviously never lost his fundamentals because he's definitely got the field goal kicker motion and everything.
Well, as we see him line up for yet another one, I tell you, that also tells you the span here. Look at this. Boom. All right, kind of knuckleball that one
Definitely
to the
pull
left.
hook that one. I've
Just
hit
wondering-
drives that were uglier than that, bud. Don't worry about that.
I'm wondering if the 14 years is catching up to his leg right now,
More
but
kicker
he's still
friendly.
launching it down there.
Yeah, typical kicker, coming up with excuses. He said if it was more air in it, he'd have been better.
Deflategate.
Talk about this renewed interest in playing football. Did this thing make you go, hey, I can do that still?
yeah, I mean it's an opportunity. I usually play soccer during Sundays, like a Sunday league, and I seen that. I'm like, I'm gonna sign up for a kicker. Let's see where it goes from there.
Well, you got about 7 months to be ready, so you've got a great start, man. Congratulations. That's good stuff. Keep it going.
Good stuff by that young man. 14-year hiatus coming out. Says, why not, folks? Hey, comes out with a why not attitude. I like that.
And he's in great shape. He plays soccer on the weekends. You can tell he's an athlete, and you can tell from the sound when he hits the ball that he's done it before. So, I mean, just there's a sound. I can't explain it any better than that. There's a sound that when you hit it right, and he is, and you can also watch the flight of the ball when it goes end over end.
Yeah.
The guy knows what he's doing, and we've seen many of those. And if he practices for the next 6 or 7 months, I don't see any reason why he can't be a kicker.
Yeah, and Jay, we're looking at probably the 4th replay now of him just drilling it, getting good leg, end over end kick.
Yeah.
And I think you just nailed it. I mean, get this young man focused on doing just field goals or kickoffs. He's only going to get better, Jay. So, I mean, after a 14-year hiatus, playing soccer on the side, comes out with a why not attitude. I like it.
Yeah, they're really getting into some different patterns over here. Throwing the ball, they've got some crossing routes. These coaches are drawing up plays in the dirt, and this is fun to watch. I decided I had to turn around and watch what they're doing when I almost got run over out here.
Almost. Well, we got your back, Jay. We're going to make sure you don't get it. We'll tell you. We'll get you alert. But as we shift back down
on the last one.
Well,
I'm 50-50. I'm scared for him, but at the same time,
it's your son up here. Said, it's just Dad.
keep your head on a swivel, just like every football game.
Well, I was interviewing. Anyway,
as we shift focus back to the other side of the field, away from the kicking side.
Ken, wanted to remind everyone, follow the Toros on social media. They're going to keep you up to date with everything that's going on with the team. and explanations on how to become one of the owners of this team and be on the advisory board and all that kind of stuff. But they're on Facebook, they're on TikTok, they're on Instagram, X, and I would advise you to follow them all through there. Also follow TSP, because we're marketing partners with them, and we're going to be updating people with information as well as we go along. They've got a head coach to name. They've got an entire coaching staff to name. They've got a place to play in. Once those are ready to be announced, social media is going to be the best place to go to find out that information. Ken?
And we try to give you as much information as we can, but you can find everything on there.
Well, it is a developing situation.
Exactly. Hit and miss, trial and error.
Again, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, and certainly they'll put the WeFunder website up there so you can go and find
that up right now.
Information on how to become part and not just part of the team, but an owner of the team, and also keep up with the future tryout dates for those of you that still want to try out for this fantastic league. Believe it is professional sports, folks. You're going to get paid.
Yeah.
And it's a developmental league, so they're hiring coaches with a real emphasis on development. You know, once you get to the NFL, they don't necessarily develop you. They run their game plan around what you bring to the table.
Correct.
There needs to be places where you can develop the talent, and that's what this league is all about.
And it all starts right here. I mean, and what a great day to let these athletes kind of showcase what they're bringing to the table initially at the ground floor, if you will. And then, of course, with the fantastic coaching staff that's going to get announced, with the home stadium being announced, all of these things that are going to come into these players' development, this all kind of starts today. We're going to take a quick break here. We'll be right back. We're coming to you live from San Marcos Academy up here in beautiful San Marcos, Texas. This is a live stream presentation brought to you by Texas Sports Productions. We'll be right back.
Tell them it's part of the plan. I'm just the underdog feeding them slaps. The gains in the palm of my hand. Whoa, they want me to fail. This is personal. They sleeping on me. This is perjury. You making nobody else hurt. You tell the doctor pregnant be for the surgery. Killing it. They ain't gotta gas me up. Do it myself. I'm drilling it. How many times did they pass me up? I'm cool. Can't walk on my shoes. I'm kicking it. Wanted your big 'cause they see that it's working. Grow from the L's. They see wins on the surface. Flaunting my wins. I do it on purpose. Playing with you till you cry to the circus. One time for the yellow dogs. 2 times till they doubted me. You know I did it for my mama now. Only people know who proud of me. Now I'm getting where I gotta be. Everybody want me to take off. You brought the beast from inside of me. I bet on myself and it paid off.
Of the way that wind blows through the pines in the middle of the rocky top. Summertime, she burns my lips like a whiskey neat. Yeah, she reminds me of Tennessee. Yeah, she reminds me of Tennessee.
Yeah, before it fell down. Because Friday I had a game with the Rover, and it was completely drenched in water. So I got I see. Okay. Water damage. Okay. I don't know. Because the camera's picking itself, not I can't do it. Okay. From San Marcos Academy up in beautiful San Marcos, Texas, I'm Ken Lucas, now joined by our former on-field reporter, Jay Riley, who came up here to thaw out just about every body part he has. We're going to see Bradley Riley get down to the field. He'll be our on the. But this is the Continental Football League San Antonio Toros player tryouts. We've already seen them go through a couple of agility drills, 40-yard dashes, 20 yards, a three-cone drill, a 5-10-5 drill, or a 5-10-10 drill. And now they're doing some more football routes. We're going to keep up with as much of the live action as we can. We had some kickers going on the far side of the field. We got route running going on down here on the left side of the field. You can see the quarterback or the individual that's in the quarterback position right now. I believe that's number 10. Now they're doing some good skilled positions. Now that you've been watching with Jay Riley's interview down on the field, that young man you're seeing right there is 16-year-old Quentin Humphrey from Steele High School. Ran a 5.040. He's out doing route running right now. And what I like most is not only they're doing good route runs, but now they're getting coached up on the defensive side as well. So this is what the football tryouts ultimately culminates to is the fact it's not just about drills, it's not just about agility or 40-yard dashes or anything like that. Now they're actually coaching up these kids, and one of the big things that Coach Clark said of his 43 years of coaching, one of the main reasons he wanted to come out here and see this in person is test their coachability. Can you tell one of these players one route, two route, three route, or just run through a route tree, and then you actually do it? And I think that's part of the coachability, Jay Riley.
Well, I think one of the things you heard Josh say it at the beginning, this is a developmental league. So what they want to do is they want to see how you take to the coaching. So that's what they're doing down there is telling them, look, I need you to, this hand, do this, your hips got to be loose or whatever, and see if that translates into the next time they run that play, they're able. It's not necessarily where you are right now as an athlete. It's where you can be, with development.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point that you bring up. It's all about the development because, as much as we call this tryouts, as much as we call this athletes' opportunity to showcase their abilities as well, this is also coaches going, hey, this is how practices are going to be. I'm going to teach you one thing one way. I need you to now absorb it, build it into your character, build it into your structure, build it into your playability, and then execute accordingly. So, some of these coaches are really hyping up these kids and getting them into positions to where, all right, hey, let me do a simple route tree. You do this, you do this, you do this. Now let's go. Let's go live.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of time between now and the first of the season, and it's really 7 months. And you got to settle right now. What the Toros have in front of them is settling on a head coach, settling on the rest of the coaching staff, settling on where we're going to play, where we're going to practice, and finding players, quality players. So this will be here before you know it.
Yeah.
And these guys have got to make some good decisions. It's not like carrying a team over from year to year. You're starting scratch here.
Yeah.
And you got to make sure the team dynamics, the culture, and the ones you bring in are going to mesh and play well together. There's a lot that goes into, we had asked Andy Skelton to be here as well. He's a coach, and he's man, is he a coach. And he's a rah-rah guy, and he's a culture guy. And he coaches over at John Jay High School right now. And I tell you what, he and Gary Gutierrez and that staff over there get more out of their kids than anyone else does, even with better talent on their roster. These guys get a lot out of them, and it's because of the culture that they've built over there. They've got the kids bought in. So there's more than just he's the best athlete on the field as to putting him on the team.
Well, and we heard that from Josh Mayer, as you were mentioning, that managing partner there. He's creating a culture, not just from a player perspective. Let's take it up to a much higher level. He's trying to do something that's almost unheard of, and that is get community involvement, get community buy-in, be that quote-unquote, the team belongs to the people. I think that was one of his quotes of emphasizing community pride, fan ownership. So when you get your ticket purchases for your tickets, it's not just tickets to the game or a seat and maybe some popcorn. This is about ownership. So, it's going to be great opportunities for that, as we just saw that phenomenal catch. Yeah.
Can we replay that, David? Did we get that one?
Phenomenal.
David Kusenberger, our director today, just does fantastic work. And our cam ops, Brian Douglas, and I call him Bud because he's Bud, and he's such a good guy. They've done a fantastic job, and Prince Madrigal was – look at that. Look at that concentration.
Guess who that is? That's Quentin Humphrey.
Is that Humphrey?
Didn't he?
That's 16 years old.
Right over the top.
Bradley, you got a bird's eye view of that one.
That was pretty good. We're down here arguing if that was in bounds or not. I'm going to call it a catch.
Wow, good call. Yeah, I'm going to say from the bird's eye view up here,
we need the replay. We need y'all's replay expertise up there.
Well, I think it was a good catch. And just to remind that this is a span all the way through. And, that's a great example with Quentin Humphrey only being 16 years old at Steele High School. They went pretty deep, as deep as, Steele typically does. A great program over there by Coach Sines. And you talk about culture. They got a good culture over there. He's coming up here. And then, stretch all the way over to the kicker, who's had a 14-year hiatus in football kicking. And, so we're spanning an entire broadband of ability and agility and skill sets, ranging from a junior in high school, as we see the Is that the mascot? If so,
that's going to be. He does it with other teams in town as well. He makes that stuff himself, and I was sent his video of what it was going to look like the other day and put it out on TikTok, and I was not expecting him to show up here today, but I don't know what he's even going to call himself yet, but this is really good stuff.
Terrible Toro, something like that. But I tell you, that great support right there. Let's go ahead and put the checkbox in. The Toros already have their sideline mascot. Yeah, I like it, and he's been here since I've been here. So it's not like he just showed up the last 5 minutes. He's been here the whole broadcast, folks. So that's good dedication right there, and that shows you the kind of support that San Antonio is already getting behind the San Antonio Toros.
He must have better knees than I do, because I was like, oh my gosh, I just turned 60, and to have the oldest guy in the company be the one out there walking the sidelines was I didn't think that one all the way through.
You made that decision.
I said I didn't think that one all the way through, but it looks like they're done with the tryouts today. And just want to send out kudos to these men that came out here today.
Yep.
And I didn't see anyone slacking. I didn't see anyone out here that doesn't belong here.
Yep.
At least to have a puncher's chance at making a team. I saw several that should definitely be in the league, whether they fit the team. This young man right here, I mean, there's your heart guy. He's not going to run the fastest 40. He's not going to do the best agility drills. But I bet that guy, if you ask him to run through a brick wall, he's going to run through the brick wall. Yes, and do it twice.
Yeah.
There's some out there that are definitely, I believe, going to be in this league. Again, you have to fit whatever the coach is trying to do. You want to bring in players. If you want to throw it a lot, you better get running backs with good hands.
Yeah.
So that's a bunch of really good athletes here today.
They really, and it was really a great showcase opportunity. We certainly appreciate San Marcos Academy by allowing the player tryouts to happen up here on their beautiful facility. But especially for the San Antonio Toros, as they start to build on their already established groundwork, this is just another step towards success, and that's player tryouts. Folks, you've been you've really seen some great athletes coming out here doing the best they can. There's I'd like to get that young man's name right there. He's had his glasses on the whole day. I like to see him play like that.
He ran right at about a 5, I think, into the wind, and with the wind was about a 4.85 or something like that. This young man, I think he can play. He's got to loosen up a little bit in the hips, and looks to me to be a linebacker type of player. He's strong upper body. This is another one that looks like a good either edge rusher or linebacker. Number 8, he ran a good 40 as well, I believe. Remembering back, and there's a couple of others. I think there's a running back out there. One of the young men that was here early when we got here at 10:30 this morning was already here. He's from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And he played college ball in Chicago.
Okay.
So he's got the college frame. He's got he looked the part. I mean, the big legs. And a really, really nice young man. And the other thing that the Toros really want is for these players, once established, to get out in the community and go do things and visit people and become part of the community. So I'm looking forward to that. But again, can we get the WeFunder line up there so everybody can see it one more time before we bounce out? Invest in the Toros. Folks, go read about it. It doesn't take a $5,000, $10,000, $100,000. It's kind of like there's levels of investment that come with your so if you want season tickets, go ahead and do this, because it basically makes the season tickets free and you become the owner of the team. So there it is right there, wefunder.com/San Antonio.Toro, or is it San.Antonio?
Yeah.
San.Antonio.Toros. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X for all the updates. But folks, it's coming. It's coming in June. They are going to play. They're going to play a home schedule. They're going to play a road schedule. They're going to be live streamed. on TSP or whatever the league comes up with. We're still talking about where that's going to happen. So again, another great reason to be following all of us, even TSP, Texas Sports Productions. You'll find us on TikTok, Instagram, X, and Facebook. So follow us all to keep up with what's going on with the Toros. But look at that speed right there going down the far sidelines, and then you got an underthrown ball, boom.
Up over the trash can.
Hit him in a bad spot, right in the hands.
Agility.
But Ken, let's go ahead and sign this off, buddy. You've done a great job today. Thank you so much. Dylan, thank you for your assistance. David Kusenberger, director, Prince Madrigal on the Romer camera. Brian Douglas on one camera. What is Bud's last name? Welch. Bud Welch on the other camera. Bradley Riley in the booth, nice, warm, and cozy, the little whippersnapper, while I roam down on the sidelines. But Ken, go ahead and close us up, buddy. Thank you.
Well, if anything, if you're football junkies like I know Jay and I are, this is an exciting opportunity, especially starting with the San Antonio Toros. So from San Marcos Academy up here in lovely San Marcos, we appreciate you tuning in to the Continental Football League San Antonio Toros player tryouts. And we appreciate you listening in. Make sure that you stay tuned to San Antonio Toros for more information. On behalf of my broadcasting fantastic team, all of them together, I'm Ken Lucas. You have a great afternoon. Thank you.
This is personal. They sleeping on me, this is perjury. You making nobody else heard of you. Tell them that the pregnant be for the surgery.